Should we wait another 20 seconds? More seconds. Nah. Let's go. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Once again, we are in Mexico for the last leg of our mini Mexico series here. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. We are getting ready to fire up the Airbus FlyByWire version 320 Neo. I said that completely backwards, but I gotta say, I am like removing the yoke from the desk and getting rid of the throttles and just getting everything set up like a proper Airbus cockpit. It is very, very refreshing. So I am super excited for this one. It's been about, I don't know, 2 weeks or so or longer since we've been in the airplane. I know you're probably wondering why we're going back out of Mexico City. We weren't very far. We were Veracruz. We just had a deadhead back to base last night or something. So here we are. We're going to leave Mexico City. I wanted to do Mexico City departure in the fly-by-wire for one specific reason. We are going to do a Toga packs-off takeoff. And because we're at 7,000 field elevation, I want to hear these engines go Toga up at 7,000 feet. Now, it's actually probably not going to sound as exciting as it would at, say, sea level, but I still want to hear it because it's definitely going to sound different because the sound does change as you go up in elevation, and the Bore sound pack that is on the fly-by-wire does simulate that. So I'm excited can't even talk. I'm excited to hear that. I'm excited to fly over to Cozumel. It's going to be a little bit longer flight, maybe about an hour 20, hour 30 en route, but we'll have something to talk about. I have live weather, fake time on. I fast forwarded the clock, so it's 7:30 local. We're going to have pretty much a sunset departure. We'll watch the sunset as we cross the Yucatan Peninsula, and we'll have a nighttime landing into Cozumel. Should be fun. Got a little payware scenery over there. It's going to be a good one. Good to see everybody in chat. Aviation Blaze, Chase B, Harris, David, Isaac, Chaos in the house. Flag Plan 1, Tyson, what's up, man? Stapper, Tiger Dude 3535, Flight Dispatch, the Speedbed. The Speedbird himself is here. I was listening to a lot of Speedbirds over there on the Flight Deck to Sim stream. I know he's on final into London Stansted, as is everybody else, because Any Builds is kicking out some seriously awesome sceneries. I do not have any Stansted scenery or any flights planned over there, so we're not doing it obviously today, but it's always nice to see that Disney Build is still pumping out some amazing sceneries, and that Stansted one is going to make a lot of Speedbirds very, very happy. So maybe one day we'll pay another visit over to the European side of the globe. But I am excited for this one. Joe Johnson, good to see you. Fubar is also in the house, always a pleasure. Brad K, Zach Lewine, Rotor Fib, look at those wings coming in here. Tiny Squid checking in, good to see you, man. Anthony Teal, Hot Shot is here. Boris the man himself. Your Togas sound a bit juicier at high airport due to air density changing the buzzsaw and the N1 also being higher. Well, there you go. There is Hot Shot himself, the sound creator of the fly-by-wire airplane, which is it's awesome. And I took this airplane up just to make sure my bindings were up, so I did a takeoff out of Cozumel, get the little countdown thumbnail for you as well. And man, the fly-by-wire is just flying really good right now. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they've made tweaks or if I don't know, it just flies, feels very good in my opinion, so I'm excited to give this one a nice little hoorah here as we depart Mexico City. Romulus, good to see you. Expat Speedbed checking in. Romulus, the Expat Speedbed is here. Good to see you. Captain Cavi, last chance to grab the mini FCU. People, 22 hours to go. Oh yeah, grab yourself a mini FCU. If you do, please use the affiliate link that rolls through here. So that means that I'm at least trying to promote it, and I don't get any kickback from that at all. But if you're going to purchase the mini FCU, which I am very excited for, and I really, really cannot wait to have a proper FCU up here to manipulate our airplanes, use that affiliate link. It'll be going through the chat here whenever Nightbot decides to join the channel or whatnot, but it's also on the community tab. I have it posted. So 22 hours to go on that. Make sure you pick up your mini FCU. I know I have, and we're going to be out of here. Team Vodka, be back around 3. Awesome, man. So you'll probably be in time for landing, Team Vodka. You might be able to take a 146 out of Cancun, fly down to Cozumel, and meet us there on landing. Have it, good to see you. Ironically, no Speedbird flights out of Stansted. Really? Really? There's no Speedbirds? I don't even know. So here I am acting like I know where Stansted is. I don't know where Stansted is. I just put Stansted. That's Europe. That's Euros. That's over east of the Atlantic. That whole continent for us uneducated American country folk, it's Atlantic Ocean, Europe, Italy, because I'm Italian, and Russia. That's pretty much my knowledge base. I know Greenland and Iceland. I know where those two are over there. But yeah, so no, please don't take any offense when I totally screw up my European airlines and their destinations. But here we are, looking beautiful as ever, guys. Isn't it nice to be back in the 320, back in the Airbus? Man, low cost. Oh, Stansted. Okay, so it is London. I thought it was London. Low cost London. Okay. So kind of like Dallas Love Field versus Dallas Fort Worth, Texas. I guess you could say that, right? Or maybe like LaGuardia and John F. Kennedy. Probably you can combine those two. All right, what we're going to do first, though, I need to get some catering on this flight. Let's pull the catering trucks over here.
Are on their way.
They're on their way. This is the last time we get to say goodbye to Mexico City. I have to say, I've really enjoyed this little mini series here, and Mexico has some beautiful terrain. It's been a lot of fun. I know we've picked up some subscribers and some members from the area of Mexico, so thank you for following along. And this is just looking extra juicy right now. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's this livery. Is Doders just like a promotional travel agency type thing? Is it Doders? I'm not sure. I saw the livery. I thought it was different, so I picked it up. Charlie Romeo, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're not melting out there in the DFW. More like Stewart to New York City. Oh, really? Oh, really? You see a speedbird, Steven? I do see... Oh, you're right. A speedbird has spawned in. We have a speedbird. Speedbird's in chat. We have a speedbird sighting. All right, catering truck is showing up. We're going to get in the airplane, and let's get this thing fired up here. Enough chit-chat. Let's go battery 1, battery 2. Let me make sure my volumes are correct. They are. Everything is good, and external power will come on. Boom. That's going to power up. I'm going to brighten up my screens a little bit here. Not too much because the sun is setting. We are low light condition, which I absolutely love. Need 200 more subs for the Australia-New Zealand tour. Yes, indeed. So we are waiting to hit the 35K sub mark. We picked up, I don't know, at least 200 subs or so on this little mini Mexico tour. So we're closing in on our goal. We'll probably do a couple flights in the U.S. The next week or so. And then, yeah, we're going to have to kick it off. We're going to have to kick off the official New Zealand tour. Now, as we're sitting here at the gate, I'm going to go straight to dome light. I'm going to turn the overhead light on up here. The night lighting in the fly-by-wire is awesome as well. And you're going to see that again as soon as I get here. Let's get the main panel integral lights up. I tell you what, I don't know if I need bright. How about dim action? Oh, yeah, there we go. There's some dim action. Let me get the EFIS and FCU. You know what would be really cool is if you adjusted your EFIS and FCU lighting in the fly-by-wire, if it would adjust your mini FCU. Wouldn't that be cool? And then we have, of course, the console flood. And I have my console floodlight here in the throttle cam as well when we fire that up. So that looks good. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go back to initialization. We're going to do an init request. We don't have to do it the old school way. It's going to pull it. Here we are. Viva, which is Aerolancius, because I heard them in Las Vegas, of all places, right after I discovered that Viva was called Aerolacius, Enrique Iglesias. I heard them in Las Vegas on the radio, and we actually taxied right past a 321 Neo, Aerolances maybe, I don't know. Enrique Iglesias Airlines. Okay, we are initialized, flight plan init, there we go, beautiful. We're going to bring that up there. I'm also going to, I forgot they're the same McDo. Let's go ahead and pull an ATIS and we'll print it off here. Brad K is dropping 5 gifted memberships to the channel already. Brad K, appreciate you. If you pick up a gifted sub, Joe Daniels, Go Stick, the Squid or Tiny Squid 21, CD 90 Run, and Rocks 80 or G85, you have picked up a gifted membership from Brad K. Make sure you let him know you're appreciative of that. Thank you, Brad. Very kind of you, man. You're one of us, Team Green. Also import the wins today, Chaos. Oh boy, okay, I'll do that. The in-up is a texture bug. Ignore it. Okay. I noticed the terrain still functioned, so I kind of assumed it was not necessarily correct. So let's go received messages. Mitar, print that out. Wish FlyByWire and Fenix came to Xbox. Oh, man. Yeah, Xbox is going to be... I mean, here's the thing. If you are that passionate about flying, consider going from the Xbox and getting yourself a little sim PC. You don't have to go all out. Just get something that can run the sim decently, and you might end up going down a rabbit hole that will change your life. Tell you what, because I've never flown on Xbox, but I think the best way to experience flight sim pretty much undoubtedly is on the PC. So Magic Barrel ref key 3034. While I wait for that to print, we'll pull it up. Oh, I like how you posted over here again. Oh, that was a 330 that posted on the window. Never mind. Mexico City 0508, so blast off 5 left for departure today. So here we go. We're going to go departures. I'm going to go here. We're 5 left, and our SID is Alito 2 Alpha. So we're going to scroll here. Alito 2 Alpha, and off of 5, we'll insert you. Beautiful. That looks good. We have a disco to Alito. From Alito, we take Upper Tango 109 to Veracruz, which is in the box. So we'll go ahead and delete that disco. That matches all the way down into Cozumel. There, we're going to pick up the arrival. Mitar Cozumel is showing 030 at 13. So for runways over there, I'm not too familiar. Let's go ahead. Oh, Chaos, how do I plug this thing in? Oh, it's charging now because we have power. Okay, good, because I notice I'm losing power. In Gringo speak, arrow and losses. Thank you, Tyson. Now I got it. Arrow and losses. Arrow and losses. That works for me. Oops, that's not the one I wanted. I go pin charts, Charlie Zulu, and winds, what do we say? So we can 05 or 12. What do they land over there? 05. Looks like the terminal's over here. Commercial apron. So I want to land. Oh, then you got to do a taxi back. Where do they land in Cozumel? This is interesting. Let's take a look here. We got VOR, NDBs, RNPs. They don't have any ILSs there. Interesting. RNP 12 or 30. Well, if we do the RNP, what were the winds? 130 at 5. Well, in that case, let's do the RMP 12, and we'll do a taxi back. And we'll do it off of... We're coming in off the AvSim. Wow. The AvSim transition, for real. Our star, RNAV RMP 12. Let's see here. AvSim. Wow, look at that. Shout out to old school FSX AvSim users. Okay. Aeromexico's taking up 5 right. I can hear him in the background. So we'll go 5 right or 5 left. We're closer to 5 left though. All right, AvSim transition. So let's go over here for runway 12, and we're on the AvSim 1 Charlie arrival, and we said the transition is going to be Exubli selected. Insert that. Done deal. Beautiful. Why are we loading the flight plan? I'm all out of whack here. We should have done all this first. Let's go up here, start our flow. Jeez. Captain only. We'll get the 8ers align. 1, 2, 3. We'll go nav lights on arm U. That looks good. Fire test 1. Fire test 2. APU's already been tested. Everything looks good up the right-hand side. There we go. Let's actually get proper loading. Now we need to call the fuel truck. So I've already downloaded the SimBrief fuel to our EFB. So now we need to get the fuel truck over to the airplane. So request refueling. Let's go over to our services here. We need 14.6. So we're going to need a little bit of gas. We're waiting on the fuel truck to show up. We got our flight plan in the box. Someone has been flying some non-Airbus. Yeah, Chaos, I'm all backwards, man. I got to get back in the rhythm here. Got to get back in the rhythm. Aero and losses. Aviation Blaze, a member for 12 months. My friend, thank you for the support. Damn, time really does fly when you're having fun. 1 whole year already, Aviation Blaze. Cheers to you, man. Thank you. You saw the V1 coffee cup? Yes, I have the V1 coffee cup in the window. I can't recall who made that. It's on the Flight Sim TO. Absolutely love it. We've got bank angle check. And the actual coffee cup today, we're sporting just a cold brew, a little coconut cold foam cold brew. No cream, no mocha, no nonsense. So we got the good stuff. We got the good stuff today. On the radar, I see an American landing on 1-2 as we speak. Really, Steven? Okay, so we'll land 1-2 then when we get there. Joe Daniels, you made the cup? Awesome, dude. I appreciate it, Joe Daniels. Joseph Daniels. Yeah, I saw it on that Flight Sim TO. I just keep forgetting, like, I do it livery specific, so I got to make sure I put him in all the new liveries. All right, looks like the fueler is showing up. Let's see what he's going to do out here. He's going to hook us up properly. We'll get him over. We have our flight plan in the box. So all we need to do is some perf data, and then we'll fire up the APU after we're done fueling. We'll start the boarding process here as soon as our fuel is on board, and we're going to have ourselves a day. Jeremy, good to see you. This is the last leg of the Mexico tour, Jeremy. Last leg of the Mexico tour. Neo engine is a full juice. Yeah, Mr. Martini. If only they were Pratt & Whitney's. Come on, Chaos. I need to get you... you need to start modeling some Pratt & Whitney's. You wear the hat when you're flying? No, that's only a Delta SOP. Aeroenlaces. Aeroenlaces. Ah, Lauren. Appreciate you. Aeroenlaces. Aeroenlaces. Aeroenlaces.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the design.
All right, he's hooked up and ready to go. I have 14.6. That's what we need. We are doing real time. 4 minutes. Refueling has started. And look at that. We're actually seeing the pumps going. Now, I didn't turn on the fuel pumps, did I? Okay, good. So he's doing his thing. We're loading our fuel. As soon as the fueler is done, we will start the boarding process. Aeroenlaces. Thank you, Lauren. Yeah, it was so ironic. After that stream, I went to work, and I was in Vegas, and we were taxiing out, and kind of weird. So there was a big cluster for 2.6 right. What is it? 2.6 right now? It used to be 2.5. It's 2.6 for departure. So there's like 20 planes down there, and I heard this guy key up, and I'm like, "That's Aero who?" And sure enough, he keyed up again. It was Aeroenlaces, and it was a 321 Neo. And I'm just like, really? That is I don't think I'd ever heard of that, or maybe I just hadn't paid attention until then. I'm like, oh, all right. Cool deal. And they sat on the ramp for a long time. I don't know if they had an issue or what, but we ended up departing. I think they were still holding short, so they had something going on in that 321 Neo. The ones in the sim got the Pratt & Whitney green ring, but not the correct center cone. Ah. Yeah, we need a proper Pratt & Whitney Neo. It'd be really nice. Is a FlyByWire 320 payware? No, it is a freeware airplane. It's absolutely free, and I gotta tell you, if you use GSX as well, I mean, it is approaching the payware quality status. I mean, it really is. Like, if we start getting more of those switches on the overhead functional, like in the right positions and stuff, then we are approaching payware quality. But no doubt, it is a great airplane. There are airplanes that you pay for that are nowhere near as good as the fly-by-wire that's free. So maybe that's a better way to put it. It's a freeware airplane, but you can buy airplanes, especially on the marketplace, that are nowhere near as good as the fly-by-wire 320. So this airplane has come a long way from when it was first started being modded, and the default is Oboe 320. So the FADEC switch now works? Nice. Like the FADEC power switch? Hold on. FADEC engine. Oh my. Okay, so here we go. Learning lesson. Take your notepads out. So we get to the gate. I come over here. I'm like, hey, we need to check our... Oh, come on, Chaos. This should be Amber X's, man. This should be Amber X's. So in the real airplane, after the FADEC depowers, in the Pratts at least, I forget what it is, 3 minutes after last power supply or whatever, this will actually power down and show amber X's just like this. So when you get to the airplane, if you're doing a crew swap, you say, how do I check the oil? Oh my gosh, I don't have any oil. Everything's amber X's. You come up to the overhead here, and we power the FADEC ground power switches. And then with the FADEC ground power on, you can see here it powered up this properly, but the engine page would be populated, or maybe it is 5 minutes. Yeah, I think it is 5 minutes. And then you could see what the oil is, and then let's see if this is correct. As soon as I turn this off, it should go back to amber X's, and it does. Look at that. Perfect. So that's a perfect simulation on this page of the FADEC power buttons. But you wouldn't really need to see this. You want to see this here because we've got to check our oil quantity for each flight, right? So that's part of the originating flow there. So that's good. We've checked our engines. Let's make sure we get everything else in there. Secondary, nothing to do. Hard tune, we're not going to hard tune anything. Progress page, we'll go triple MX right there. Perf data, init B, we're going to leave that until we're pretty much done. So that is set up. No ATC online, so we're going to set our cruise altitude. We're going all the way to 390 today according to SimBrief, so we'll see if we can get there. 390 is set, and we are almost done fueling. And then as soon as he pulls it, we will start the boarding process. Go for Microsoft to buy the Fenix 320. Oh yeah. I'm a commercial pilot and currently deciding to go for 320 type rating. Look for which. Oh, that's what you were answering. Yes. Get Microsoft, get the Fenix 320, or if you already have X-Plane, then you can get the TOLUS X-Plane because that's actually very good for training as well. The way that they have the state stave and state loading. I still use the TOLUS 320 for recurrent sim prep. But you can't go wrong with either, or you can't go wrong with Microsoft, can't go wrong with the Fenix. The only thing that I would caution you about on the Fenix 320 as of now, the ProSim software that's in the Fenix, some of it is a little bit outdated, and so the real airplanes, depending on which software load you have, there might be some differences. But for the most part, you can't go wrong with it, man. All right. I think we are good. They are done. Let's go ahead and start the boarding process. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and go GSX. Let's go ahead and start boarding, request boarding.
Boarding requested.
And we're going to get the APU fired up. We're going to get this cabin cooled down here because I'm getting toasty. What do we have? Our condition is 21 seats, 21. It's only 21 today in Mexico. That's actually not too bad. Let's go ahead and turn the power on. No word on V2 other than they mentioned in Discord large parts of V2 are still being developed. Yeah, gray shirt. I think it's going to be quite some time.
Board crew?
Yeah, we want to board both.
Pilot's boarding started.
Considering the APU is already starting up. Listen to this APU. Pac-Man gifting 5 memberships to the channel. Pac-Man, appreciate you, dude. If you pick up a membership from Pac-Man, make sure you say thank you to Pac-Man for that very generous gift. Thank you, Pac-Man056. Appreciate the support. TOLUS is $90? Ah, I did not realize that. That's pretty expensive. Wow. That's very expensive. Chance Rendy, member for 12 months. Thank you for the support. You made it 1 year. You got your 1 year first officer epaulets. Thank you for the continued support. What's up, V1? Finally made 12 months. Just stopping by on my lunch to say hi. Good luck with the flight. Chance, appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. And we'll look forward to seeing you on another stream here very soon, my friend. Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and start the chrono. APU is online. Our fuel is on board and in the tanks, and it is properly balanced. That's 14.6, so we're going to go ahead and put 14.6 right here. Boom, that is done. I'm going to go over here to payload, and I already synced it, so theoretically, when passengers start boarding, we should start seeing real-time boarding happen here, which is good. With that done, I don't think I can do the V-speeds prior to boarding, right? I gotta wait till we're all done. So passengers are gonna start boarding. We've already done fuel. That's done. We've got 390 in the FCU. We're gonna squawk 2,000 down here. 2,000 is set. And we'll just leave it in standby. Wow, did they sharpen the textures in here? Or is it just because of the lighting? This looks like crisper or sharper, or something is going on with the sim, because it looks really good today for some reason. Not that it doesn't look good on other days, but maybe it's the night lighting, the way it's reflecting off things. Anyway, that all looks really, really good. Park brake is set, everything is good.
Traffic, Mexicana 2219, attacked via Lima. Bravo 3 to holding point on radio fast right. Next kind of thing.
Alright, so what we can do real quick is let's look at our taxi out here from... I put 5 right in the box, didn't I? Because I don't want to go to 5 left. Or what did I put in the box? I wanted to park 5 left. What did we put down here? 5 left. Alright, good. So 5 left for departure. Super easy taxi. We'll push off. We'll go nose left, tail right. Bravo 3, full length, 12,861 feet for departure. That works for me. Is that full length or is that a displaced threshold? I'm not sure what this is here. Hotspot 1. Let's take a look at this. Is the lighting? That's what makes it look so good. Alright. Mexico. Oh, 109B. Hold on. Hotspots. 109A. Where's my 109A? There it is. Hotspot 1. Aircraft assigned at 5 right via taxiway Alpha 1. Bravo. 2, 3 right. Oh, hold on. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. Can I move the iPad? It's like at an angle here. Did they not depart 5 left? Is that just not a thing? When taxiing via taxiway altitude across 5 left, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. So I think that is like just a displaced threshold, so we could use it for departure. So full length, we'll take Bravo full length. Yeah, we'll take Bravo full length to 5 left all the way over here. That ought to be fine. Alright, super easy taxi, no ATC, 22.8. Passengers are boarding. We've hit 3 minutes on the chrono, so now we can go ahead and apply ground air. APU bleed is on. We'll let the external run here a little bit since we're still at the gate. Now we can hear the air. Gosh, I love that. They're starting to do their thing down there. Mr. Ironman with the $5 super chat. Ironman, appreciate the support, dude. Thank you so much. He says, nice to see the fly-by-wire again. The Fenix seems to bog down my PC. I get much better performance and frames with the fly-by-wire and PNDG. Yes, Ironman, right now, the fly-by-wire is just cooking on frames. Like, it is very smooth, very buttery. So I think that just has to do with, you know, the updates and that it's received. The Fenix, we need that V2 because I think it's finally got to the point where the sim has kind of outpaced that V1 release of the Fenix. There's been some changes within the sim that have, I wouldn't say rendered it, you know, not good or anything, but it's definitely stepped it down, stepped it behind a little bit in its current state. But I'm sure when that V2 drops, it's going to be phenomenal. Oh, this is cool with the lights here at night as they're doing their... That is a neat shot right there. Tiny Squid, apparently they didn't retexture it, but I'll tell you what, it's looking really good right now. Might have to do with the night lighting like Chaos said. It feels like the Fenix fights the sim these days. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's almost like it's trying too hard to do things, you know, especially the auto thrust. I noticed that on approach. If you have any gusty wind conditions, the auto thrust is super jittery in the Fenix right now, so that's another reason. But what I need to do is I need to start a trend and having all you guys stop using auto thrust on landing, because for some reason everyone thinks that, oh, I can't use manual thrust in the Airbus. Man, manual thrust in the Airbus is amazing. Now, if you have a TCA thrust quadrant, it might be a little bit more challenging because you don't have hardly any range of throttle. That's why I junked mine. And I said that from day one before it even released. And when I saw the first picture, I said, man, Thrustmaster got real close to knocking this out of the park for the Airbus. But if they would have just made it 2 inches on that regular detent instead of making them all the same detent, makes it really challenging to hand fly, or at least maybe not even challenging. It doesn't make it enjoyable to hand fly with the TCA thrust quadrant, in my opinion. You need to have at least a little bit more margin there. But I love using manual thrust on the Airbus. Hell, my last trip, I didn't use auto thrust hardly at all. I shut it off every landing. Microsoft had to make a whole new sim for the Fenix. There you go, Mr. Martini. Yeah, for 2024. Gotta have EPR on the ECAN. I can't wait, Andrew. Andrew, when those IEs drop, here's one thing I will say. I know Phoenix, we were just saying Phoenix has kind of fallen, that V1 is kind of fallen a little bit out of date with the sim, or out of phase. Maybe that's a better way to put it. It's out of phase with the sim. But I have no doubt in my mind when they drop that V2, it's going to be right back up there and just right back into that #1 spot of payware add-ons, because it's, and they say it's going to be even better performance than it originally was. So I feel like my frames with the Fenix have gone down since release. Like when it first came out, it was a little heavy, and then I think there was an update for the iPad that you could adjust rendering on screens or whatever. And then I had pretty decent frames. It was definitely heavier than most airplanes, but it had decent frames. But then as time went on, my frames in the Fenix seemed to go down. I don't know why that is, or maybe it's just mentally, but that's what it feels like. Is GSX worth buying or wait for 2024? Dishy McFlatface. It's an interesting name. Oh, look at that bobble of that cargo door, that pop, that up. So I see how the door jumped up and it wobbled or released the locks there. So cool. Can we see the hydraulics on the ECAM? Look at that. Look, yellow electric pump is on because they're closing the hydraulic. They're using the hydraulic pump outside to close that door. Oh, I absolutely love it. What was I saying? Oh, I think so, man. If you like simulating the pre-flight and post-flight duties, I think GSX is at a point now where you're starting to see more compatibility with airplanes. And if you fly the fly-by-wire at all, you got to have it. Like, if you are a fan of the fly-by-wire, maybe you don't even have the Fenix, and that's like the fly-by-wire is your airplane, your Airbus, then yeah, I think GSX is going to bring a lot of enjoyment to you, because you just sync it up on the fly pad, and then you just sit here, and this is simulating real time. I mean, you can sit here. We can go over here. Look, we are watching passengers board in real time, changing our weights, affecting the airplane. Same with the fuel, same with the payload. So that is what I wanted from GSX when it first released. Now I understand that it didn't, and we had to wait a little bit, but now you start seeing more of this sync up. It's pretty sweet. I really enjoy it. This is how it worked in P3D with the FS Labs. Auto thrust is so twitchy on approach. Yes, Flame. So the auto thrust in the Fenix right now, and that's what I was kind of getting at, I would highly recommend, if your auto thrust starts doing that twitchy thrust bumps, just turn your auto thrust off and hand fly it. You will be impressed with how the Airbus hand flies with manual thrust. Oh no. AJ, thank you so much for the $5 bank angle check. I saw you were working today, man. Appreciate you. And I even got a manlier coffee today just for you, AJ. Appreciate that. Yeah, we'll get some catering sent to the back. I'll have them bring another catering truck out just for you, my friend. We'll get you some chips and salsa and tequila. Matter of fact, that sounds good. I think I'm going to do that tonight, because we're doing a little mini 4th of July celebration tonight with the family, because I'm going to be gone all next week. So, and I leave early on Saturday morning. So we're going to do a little mini celebration tonight. I don't want to do it Friday night because I got to get up early Saturday. So, AJ, thank you for that suggestion. We're going to do some tequila, more chips and salsa. And we're going to wrap up it's a good way to wrap up the Mexico tour. I had so much Mexican food this little mini tour here. I had fish tacos, fajitas. We've done burritos. We've done, oh my gosh, Mexican street corn. I have perfected the Mexican street corn with a Texas twist. I smoke my corn on the cob first. Smoked corn on the cob, shave it off, give it to the wife. She puts it in the bowl, does all the fixins and all that. Oh my God, it is some of the best Mexican street corn with Texas twist on there. Loved it. So I've really enjoyed this little mini Mexico tour. It's been a lot of fun. The Fenix cargo doors move too fast compared to real life. FlyByWire is more realistic in the sense that even only one door is simulated. I haven't even seen. I'll take your word for it, Andy. I can't remember the last time we've been in the Fenix. I think the last time we flew the Fenix, it was right before my line check, which was a couple weeks ago. Dishy, yeah. I'll say this, Dishy. It's kind of clunky to set up initially, but once you get it set up, and when I say clunky, it's just you got to like launch the Kutal app on your desktop, configure, but once you get it going, then yeah, you will enjoy it. And I know airline profiles are a big deal. I don't even use our airport profiles. I don't use airport profiles unless I have to. for the most part, it works pretty smooth. But if you want to be super accurate, then yeah, you can download airport profiles for GSX, for all the different add-on airports. Callie Simmer in the house. Good to see you, man. Good morning from the West Coast. Good morning to you, Callie Simmer. Good to see you. Hope you are enjoying a nice Thursday morning with some Gold Coast coffee blend. Iron Man says going to the Rangers game on Saturday for a mini fourth. Awesome, man. Jeremy says, speaking of engines, I learned about a Speedbird 319 where the engine cowling doors were left unlatched. Yep, and they ripped off in the air. Jeremy, it's happened to many of Airbus. I will say that. Many of Airbus. All right, here we go. One more passenger to load, and then we're getting out of here. It is time to go. Who's ready to go to Cozumel, huh? Let's smash that like button for Mexico tour. Smash that like button for the Mexico tour, y'all. External power disconnected. That's on auto. That is an auto, right? Yeah, it's an auto. Boom. On an auto. Let's come over here. Let's clear that. Let's go to our init B. Let's do this. Look at this chaos. I remembered 124.6, 32.1. It's going to give us some fuel information. While it does that, I will turn terrain on ND because we have terrain in this airplane. Beautiful. 11 minutes extra gas, so let's not do a go around.
Mexico 495, gate 12, back,
All right, let's get out of here. You guys ready? I'm ready. Prepare for pushback and departure. Digital Merc in the house. Digital Merc, good to see you, man. Welcome. McShiggity Pilot. McShiggity, good to see you popping in the chat, man. I hope you are well. Thank you for tuning in. It's always nice to see some familiar faces from a long time ago, McShiggity Pilot. Good to see you. Thank you for the continued member support as well there. I see those V1 status bars. Oh, we got a female tug driver today. We got Aero Mexico pushing. Look at that. All right, let's go ahead and get our beacon on. Before start, checklist. Windows, doors, and slides. Closed.
Arm doors and cross-check.
Closed and arm. Beacon on. Thrust levers. Idle. Parking brake. It is on. Before start, checklist is completed. Look, I even have night mode set. I've got purple for Volaris, or not Volaris, for Viva. For Aero what? Aero and Losses. Lauren, where did you go? Aero and Losses. We're doing a Flappero 1, no flex, 30, 31, 35. I need to go nose left, tail right. Syrup, good to see you, man. How are you? I'm doing well. Also, how does your fly-by-wire look that good? Syrup, I don't know, man. The fly-by-wire is looking amazing right now, dude. I think it's the night lighting. As a matter of fact, since we keep the integral lighting up, I'm going to turn the floods down a little bit. Oh, yeah. And then I'm going to turn this floodlight's off. That's off. We can probably go... Actually, no, we'll do it just like in real life. We'll leave the dome light on until after push so they can see us do the tug, tow, and a salute. Right, brakes release, clear to push. Slam cannon. Slam cannon. Good to see you, man. Everything is good with me and the fam, dude. I hope the same for you, man. Hope the same for you. Thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure to see you stop by the stream. Thank you, Lauren. Aero and Losses. Aero and Losses. Jeremy, I agree with you, man. They look just like screens. They look... Oh, this is a heck of a view right here. The sun is setting in the mountains of Mexico City. Gotta love it.
If you have any questions about the safety features of this aircraft, please don't hesitate to ask.
I love the slight wing flex when it starts moving. Yeah. Aero and Losses. I think Aero and Losses, they probably start number 2 first, right? We'll start number 2 first to please the Aero and Losses drivers out there. Brakes are set, clear to disconnect.
We have a good engine start. Tactical total 05 left via Bravo altitude.
All right, here we go. Aero Mexico's taxiing out. We're going to start number 2 first. Make all the Euros happy. Here we go. Engine mode to ignition start. Hear the packs cut off. Man, I love it. Okay, best start sounds in any sim. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Enjoy. I love the Airbus. It never gets old. It never gets old. Left is clear, right is clear. They're up front. We'll give her the tug toe and a salute. We'll go here, boom, boom, and we'll go ahead and kill the dome light. But we're gonna go ahead and start number 1. Turning 1. Wait for it. Ooh. Gosh, that's awesome. All right, while we're sitting here, we'll go here. We'll go flaps 1. Hear the hydraulic strain there. Even the slats look better. I don't know what's happened to my sim, but it just looks freaking amazing right now. All right, flaps position 1. Let's come up here. We'll go APU bleed off, APU master off. Dome light off, and we are all set and cozied up, ready to go. No flex. Here we go. Let's unmute that. Let's turn it up. Mexico City traffic, Aero and Los A's 357 going to be taxiing runway 5 left, Mexico City. I had to explain to my mother once how there indeed was not a dog on the airplane. Kyle, I got a funny story for that. If you remember, remind me on cruise. I got a funny story about that. All right, brakes released, clear to push. Let's go.
Mexico City traffic, cargo looks 6684, establish 05 flight 7 miles.
Ooh, a cargo looks. Oh, he's on final? All right, we'll do a brake check. Pressure 0. Mini brief. It's going to be off runway 05 left. On the, what departure was it? The Ilita 2 Alpha departure. Gross weight is 139,000 pounds. Flaps config 1+F. Fuel on board is 14.5. Speeds 130, 135. Initial altitude is 14,000. Magenta 390 is set. Transition is 18.5. First fix RNAV off the ground. MX800. Speedbid's in chat. I heard it. Speedbid. There he is. Speedbid. Mini brief complete. Flight controls. Here we go. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Oh, let me try this again. That. Oh yeah, so it's trying not to turn. It turns a little bit. Yeah, see? The disconnect push button works correctly. I can do full left, full right on the rudder with the disconnect push and button pushed down.
Mexico City traffic, cargo looks 6684, source final runway 05 flight 3 miles.
Auto, TARA.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Beautiful. Ooh, we're going to see a Cargo Lux land too. He sounds awfully Spanish to be flying for Cargo Lux. Gosh, what a stunning departure we have right now. This is, guys, if you haven't already, smash that like button for this departure.
Mexico 495, line up and takeoff 05 left. Mexico.
What kind of traffic is that up there? I want to. Is it a 7.4? It is. Look at that 7.4. Oh, that's awesome. Hold on, we're gonna set the brake early here because I want to see this. Look at that. Love the logo light. Man, a 747 into Mexico City. Guys, if the PMDG 7.4 ever releases, or if we get the Just Flight Classic 7.4 before that one, our first flight that we'll do is going to be Mexico City to Quito, Ecuador in a 7.4 Classic. You'll absolutely be astonished. Weather radar? No, this is a terrain, so we have terrain up for this. We need terrain on this departure. I don't think weather radar works in any airplane, does it? I forget. Alright, let's do a forward call. For takeoff checklist, or lineup checklist, gross wake, parachute split, pitch trim is 30% CG set, V1 VR, V2 flex. It is 130, 31, 35, no flex set. Flaps config 1 plus F. Engine mode selector is normal. Bleeds and packs. We're going to set right now. Bleeds and packs are set. For takeoff checklist is complete. We'll start the chrono to remind myself that we are no pack right now. And we're going to line up and wait. Mexico City traffic, air on Las Ace 357. I'm going to line up runway 05 to the left, Mexico City. I love how you see how those lights ticked on, like 1 and 2. That's so cool as they extend out. Now, where is the proper line here? Oh, I was on the wrong line. Okay. Oh, that's a hotspot, I think, right? Now, you know what they say. Any runway behind you is a waste of runway. Alright, there goes that Aero Mexico. He's off. I'm going to start this chrono so you guys don't get mad at me. We're doing packs off maximum yoga juice. Now we're going to get up here. Technically, you need to be at least onto the displaced threshold. So, the way this pavement is drawn out, right now we would be legal for takeoff. So we're going to stop right there. Boom.
Mexico City or Mexico 495 airport.
Mexico City traffic, cargo 664, runway 05 left, located.
Alright, so he vacated, and we're ready to go. Mexico City traffic, air on Los is 357, departing 05 on the left, Mexico City. Are you guys ready? We've had some membership gifts. We've had lots of members join the channel as the Mexico tour progressed. If you are a member, turn that chat maximum yogas. Here we go, spool them up 50. If you send a text message right now, Godspeed, because it's going to be forever lost in the sea of yoga. Yoga. Whoa. Man, Toga, SRS, nav, auto thrust blue. That is definitely a different tone. 80 knots thrust set, 100 knots check. E1, rotate. Nice and smooth. Positive rate. Gear up. Nav in, fly with, watch your ears. All right, positive trend. Let's go into climb. Thrust climb. We're still in SRS mode. I probably needed to adjust my acceleration altitude there, didn't I? That's all right. We're 9.3. We'll go pack 1. Reset. Give it at least 15 seconds here. Gosh, man, that is awesome.
Traffic. Speedbird 7 taking off runway 05 left.
And we can go pack 2. Or thrust climb. Out of 10,000. Man, that was beautiful. It sounds totally different than when you're at sea level. This is the base sound pack from Fly-by-Wire. There's no sound pack here. This is comes with the Fly-by-Wire. It's from Hotshot, otherwise known as Boris. That nose down a little bit. How we doing? Still have some terrain out there, so we're going to go ahead and just keep that terrain on as we accelerate to our cleanup speed. Man, what a beautiful evening. Even the sound, like the wind, it just... Does this not look different? I swear. Maybe it's the livery guy, or I don't know. Everything just looks different at sunset nighttime in this airplane. There's our S-speed. Let's go flap 0. Pulling those slats in. Flap 0 after takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist is complete. Alright, I guess we'd be inside now. We'll reset this chrono. We'll fly the rest of the departure at or below 14,000, which is fine. We're going to beat that. We're going to be 250 knots at MX811. Go ahead and start the turn here. Let's follow the flight director. We'll get on it. Oh yeah, it responds very well. If you come at the fly-by-wire with FT Sim, you should be put in jail. Agreed. So I think we're above all the applicable terrain. So you see 13.5 is now green. We're above that. We're 1,000 feet above that. This is actually more than, this is called peaks mode. So I don't believe the Fenix has peaks mode installed. This shows you the highest and lowest elevation depicted on the ND. Now if I change the range, will it change with the range? It does, just like the real airplane. So now that I've zoomed my range out, we have a new peak at 17,000, which is amber. We're still below that, and the highest peak depicted, which I think is that little dot right there, 13.3. So that is the peaks mode terrain is what all, well, I shouldn't say all, every Airbus in my fleet that I fly and every Airbus that I've jump seated on in the United States all has peaks mode installed. Matter of fact, it may be a requirement after that Cali incident. But peaks mode, actually no, that was something else. But I've never seen an Airbus without peaks mode in recent years. You know, back in the day, yeah, they didn't have it. But this is properly simulating peaks mode, which is cool. We're above 10,000 feet of field elevation, so at that point we'll go ahead and get the rest of our lights off. We'll go ahead and tuck those away, and we'll turn, we'll ding the flight attendant. Boom. We're out of 10,000 above field. Transition is 18.5, so we got another 500 feet to go here. Wow, look at these views, though. I love this sim so much. My goodness. Brad K with the $5 super chat. STDs for you, me, and Brad K is all set out of 18.5. Brad, appreciate that $5 super chat, man. That takeoff indeed, dude. That takeoff was almost as good as an Aaron Rodgers touchdown. New York Jets on game 1. Alright, I'm too busy looking at windows here. I should probably fly the flight director. I know. After we level it out here, we'll go ahead and go. Oh, look at this breakout.
FlyByWire Builds has mentioned that they're working on a modern long-haul airliner. The only detail they have shared is that it is an Airbus, taking into account that the A330 is already in the plans of more than one developer. What do you think it will be?
Diego, thank you for the $5 bank angle check, man. Right back at you. Appreciate that. Diego, we were talking about this a little bit yesterday. Let me answer your question here real quick. I'm going to go autopilot 1 on. We're accelerating. We have above 18, below 26, 26 magenta. VNAV is doing perfect VNAV things. We're going to go full screen cam here. And we're going to, I don't know which view. Should we sit up on this view right here? That's pretty amazing. Although the wing view was pretty amazing. How about I like this one with the window. Diego, but yes, so now that, and somebody quoted in the Discord too, showed where they did say it was a modern Airbus. So I honestly thinking it's an A340. And I think it's going to be an A340, not the one that Tolis did with the big engines. Is it the 300? So the 600 is the big engine one, like the proper looking 340. But there's not very many of those. So I think it's going to be the A340 with the hairdryer engine. So it's like the 300. I'm not even going to mentally entertain the thought of it being a 350 Slam because I just don't think, I don't have faith that any developer would take on the challenge. Let me rephrase that. I don't have faith that a developer that has a standard such as I has set such a high standard for their airplanes that they'll take on a 350 because I just think there's too much automation. There's too much. It's too new to have proper data, a proper, really well-modeled 350. I just don't think it's possible. That's why I also don't think you see a PMDG level 787. Now, we have a very nice default 787 now. I watched some of that 787 in Flight Deck to SimStream yesterday. And I think that's kind of the level that you can get to with these brand new airplanes. So I don't think it's a 350. I do think it's going to be, in my opinion, 340-200 and 300 with the CFM 56, like Kyle Ferris said. Now, it could very possibly be an A330. And if that happens, I want to have a live reaction of Chaos on stream because he's absolutely losing his mind with all the 42 different variants of 330s that are coming out. But I tell you what, between Aerosoft and a freeware development group, if I drop the 330, game over, y'all. I'll take a few days off work to fly that. So I would be excited for a 330, but I would, just because of the variation, I want to see A340. It could be the 600, but like I said, I think just because Tolis has already done the 600 and X-plane, I think they're going to hit that market with the variant that's actually a little bit more popular too, right? That 200 and 300. I think you see more of those. I see the Lufthansa one. I used to see it in Dallas quite a bit, that Lufthansa 340. So, Kyle, is it modern though? I think it is in I standards, and it definitely is, even in compared to any other Airbus that they've done. Yes, it's definitely modern. It's not that much different, honestly, than like a standard 320. Airbus has done a really good job once they came out with the 320 of making the cockpits and the systems and everything very similar. They're not the same across all of them, but they're very similar. In fact, Airbus even calls it the one cockpit initiative, so everything starts to kind of be the same, so it makes transitions and training, it lowers training costs for airlines when you have multiple Airbus fleets. That's what this whole one cockpit initiative is. That's why we're even getting, right now, my current fleet that I fly in real life, we're getting all these updates that have been on the 350 since it came out. So we're getting all these cockpit updates that guys that are on the 350 have already had, but for us it's cool new stuff. I don't think a 220 is on the cards because it's not a proper Airbus, and I don't think they would do that. I don't think 220 is not in the wheel. I would almost put 220 in the same wheelhouse as a 787, 350. It's such a new airplane. There's not much known about it right now. It's kind of hard to really get all the data, I think. I don't know. Maybe not. It could be a 321 Neo. It could be a 321 Neo. I don't see them, but here's why I don't think it's that, is because I don't see them getting into, I don't see them getting into the narrow body game. They've made wide bodies. I think they're going to stick with wide bodies. So I don't think they're going to do that. So Ailito, we don't need terrain on. Ailito 29 below. Look, that's perfect. It is doing perfect VNAV things. Look at that mountain out there off the top. What is that? What mountain's out there? Simnatic is making a study level 220. Right. In about 10 more years. Wake me when we see it flying in the sim, and then I'll get excited. That 220 will probably come out for MSFS 2024. Slam Cannon, yes, 787 P3D from Quality Wings, on point. Totally agree. But and to your point, I see you say it there, like it's not level of PMDG, but yes, those that are familiar with Quality Wings, I think if you saw a Quality Wing 787, that's about the extent of development you're going to get with the 350. Guys, the 350, the real 350 does so much stuff automated, it's insane. Like, I'm pretty sure a dual engine failure, the first thing you do is turn the autopilot back on. Like, I'm pretty sure there's something like that, because it'll like automatically tune the nearest suitable airport with a runway, turn the airplane, start pitching for green dot. Like, it's really what's going to put pilots out of the cockpit, It's, I kind of don't like it for that reason. It's so much automation. But, here's what it is. An Embraer 170. No. Quality Wings was good, though, Steven. I mean, I flew an FSX Quality Wings 787. Or, I'm sorry, 757. I flew the crap out of the Quality Wings 757 and FSX. I thought it was a great airplane. Especially, I didn't know Boeing, right? So I'm not, for me personally, if I'm not typed on an airplane, I'm not going to know all the procedures within the book that you get on a traditional type rating course. So as long as all the normal systems function properly and as I would expect them to work, like, hey, I need to have pressurization. Okay, so I need some type of high pressure air. How do I get that? Oh, I need to have an engine running. Or how do I get some hydraulic fluid? I need to get the either engine pumps on or electric pump on. And if you press those buttons and then those systems pressurize, that's the base level of development I think most people, 99% of simmers, want. Once you start getting into, pro sim like Fenix has with the license on their 320, now we're talking about guys that are type rated on the airplane and are going to use it for training events, or studying an airplane as they prepare to go into a training event, like 7.3 NG driver, right? He's switching to the Airbus, so he's even in the Fenix now, like trying to at least get introduced to the Airbus method of life, coming from a Boeing. Chaos says, no, the first thing you do is stow the tray table and put away your book since you actually now have to pay attention. True point, Chaos, true point. Simulation. Hello, V1. Congrats on your channel. Very beautiful. I'm with you. And it would be very nice to see a 343. I agree, man. Thank you, Simulation. Appreciate you. I'm more disappointed FSXO brought trailers and previews. Where's the products they were dropping? I mean, I think there was some cool hardware stuff that's coming out. I have faith in Synaptic Simulations. I believe they'll deliver a good 220. Lazaros, I think they will. I'm not saying that they won't deliver. I just think it's going to be quite some time. Steven, yeah, Quality Wings is dead, unfortunately. I feel so much hype is built around the releases more than focusing on the actual product. There is a lot to be said about hype. Hype has definitely increased as the creators and content, myself included, as this hobby has grown on the, oh my word, this just looks amazing. There's like a moon shadow right now, or like a moonlighting, because the moon is so bright. This frickin' sim blows my mind. All right, let's go. I don't know where to sit. We're still in climb out thrust, so let's just sit here for a little bit. I forget what I was saying. What were we talking about? I don't know. Speedbird has dispatched I got tongue twisted, but I like it. I'm going to go with it. Speedbird has dispatched 5 more memberships to the channel. Mr. Flight Dispatch 320, appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. Getting 5 more members to the channel. Guys, if you're a new member, exclamation point, welcome for your new perks here on the V1 channel. And if you like shorts videos and you want to follow me around in real world aviation, that'll be accessible to you members. And I'm going to start doing a little extra shorts videos for commercial pilots as well. I'm not forgetting about you folks. So there's going to be some more stuff coming to the commercial side as well. But all members, if you like that, I'm about to go on a long stretch of work, at least about 11 days of work. I think I'll have 2 days off. So hopefully you'll be excited to see some of that content. Hotshot says, I wish you were there at the expo. I managed to meet Digital Merc and Cactus 1939. Dude, that's awesome. I saw the pictures in the Discord. I'm telling you, Hotshot, I really, really wish I was going to make it. I was even thinking of, trying to pull the old sick card to get over there, but once they switched me into training, it was hard to get out of.
I walked into work with this happening.
Wrong side sim. What is up, man? Thank you for the $5 bank angle check. I appreciate you, man. Uh-oh, he did text me. What did I do? Did I do something wrong?
Pretty cool content, Captain.
Whoa. Dang, dude, that's crazy. Wrong side. Keep me updated on that, all right, man? Keep me updated. Hope it all works out good. I'm sure they'll be fine if it's just green. Man, that's some noteworthy news. Alberto D, thank you for the bank angle check, man. Appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying, or Albert 1, excuse me, not Alberto D. Albert 1, appreciate that. Thank you for the $5 bank angle check. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. This is straight out of real life. Does this not look real right now? I feel like this is a real life shot right here. Brad K has dispatched 5 more memberships as well. Brad K, appreciate you. Brad K, guys, I'm really feeling the love. Thank you so much. Very, very kind of all y'all getting the memberships to the channel. Very awesome. Oh, Hotshot has received a membership. Hey, I was going to say, Mr. Boris needs a membership. Boris, Hotshot, Beef Jesus, Enrico, and Fish Guns Fitness. Fish Guns Fitness, 88, all membership gifts. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the support. Chat is definitely going green. Did I hear that Black Box 711 will fly the 7.8 next year? No, Diego, I did not. I was not aware of that. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty awesome, man. I did not know Black Box was switching to the 7.8. When you get a chance, I'm at my computer today instead of my phone, so let me know after stream if you need to send me anything for work stuff. Jeremy, we'll do it, man. We'll do it. Simon Greenwood, welcome to Private Pilot. Welcome to the channel. Glad to have you on board. Thanks for joining the channel. It's Miss Alberto D. No worries, man. Albert 1, Alberto D. I gotcha. Appreciate it, Alberto. Thank you, man. Sorry about that. Thank you for the support, man. Got the V1 wings there. Awesome stuff. Hype around the Aerosoft 330 is insane and it's still a few months away. So, can someone confirm this? Because I saw on the Q8's channel, he posted to the members only. He made a community post and he said Aerosoft 330 is going to be available for early access in August, but it's not going to be a full release until MSFS 2024. Now, I'm not. Have you guys heard that as well? That kind of blows my mind. So, what does that mean? What are they going to release under early access? Yeah, I've got my own opinions on this whole early access thing. Whole early access releasing seems to be getting a little bit out of control, but I mean, I get it. Developers need money to fund their projects, but when everything is early access and then you're just gonna postpone it until the next sim, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why, TJ, you say the hype around the Aerosoft 330. If any builds comes out and says they're getting a 330, making a 330, it will destroy the Aerosoft 330. There's no way around it. So we'll have to wait and see. I was just thinking, didn't I tease a 380 for X-Plane 11 3 years ago? Maybe they're continuing to work on it, but Microsoft Flight Sim. Slam, that is a very probable option. The only reason I don't think it's that is because there's already the 380 in development from FlyByWire, the freeware 380. So, not to say that they are not going to, but that would be more surprising to me. That'd be more surprising to me. But you're right, because if they've already have the documentation for the 380 in X-Plane 11, then maybe they will. I mean, I would put that as the second most likely airplane. I think it's a 340, 300, and if it's not that, it's a 380. Those are my guesses. And I kind of put the 330 in front of it because I'm hoping I would rather have a 330 from any builds and then the 380 from Fly-by-Wire instead of getting two 380s and then having two mediocre 330s. You see what I'm saying? You heard it would be 2 weeks after the trailer. Well, so yeah, that would make, 2 weeks after the trailer, so that's middle of July for early access. We'll see. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. Aaron, exactly. We have way too much choice now in 2023. So my question is, when is 2024 releasing? Is it going to be... What year are we in? Is it going to be this year? It's 2023.
Some people speculate that any builds along with Microsoft have the money to negotiate with Airbus to share some information on the A320.
Ooh, Diego. Thanks for the bank angle check, man. Appreciate you. Diego, that is a very interesting point. Now, because Any Builds obviously has a relationship with Microsoft, since we've seen that with their freeware A310, you might be onto something, Diego. You very well might be onto something. Oh.
We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As it begins to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet and elbows clear from the aisle as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating to the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
All right, we have leveled off into cruise. Let's do some cruise checks, and then we're going to settle in. It's nice and smooth up here. We're doing 7.8 Mach. Zoom the range out a little bit. Might as well zoom it all the way out. We'll get the seatbelt sign off. Ding. And how is the cabin temp doing on this flight right now? 24. It's a little bit warm. Let's go 11 o'clock position. For both of those, we'll leave the cockpit a little bit warmer than normal. How many passengers did we have? We had 135, so we can actually go econ low or low flow. If we go to the bleed page, does it change? Yeah, we're in low flow there now. Perfect. So that is set. We're going to come to the McDo. I'm going to put in our destination, Mike Charlie Zulu, 545 miles to there. And we can do, I'm not sure what view we should park ourselves on. I mean, the moonlighting is pretty incredible here. Let's go ahead and turn this down. Let's get our, let's see what we got on the old sounds. And we are cruising to Cozumel. Close to Christmas for 2024? In August of 2024? You think it'll be that late? Really? Game usually releases a year. The game before year. That's kind of what I was thinking, Aaron, right? So it would have to be before the new year. I would think fall or winter this year. Maybe? I don't know. Oh, the funny story about the PTU, yes. Yes. So hold on, let me let's go over to a little bit more calming tune. All right, so yeah, well, the PTU, just real quick, remind me. So when I had just started flying for the airlines, I just got out of my freight gig, and I was working at a regional operator, we got jump seat privileges, right? I was finally excited. Oh yeah, I can jump seat or non-rev on all basically all carriers really. So I had just my now wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, but we had just got our dog Stanley, our beagle. And for those followers from way back in the day when I first started the channel, we're talking 4+ years ago now, the original PTU Stanley, whenever he'd see someone outside, he'd start howling in the background. And it was kind of the joke that he was a PTU. So, but to go back to my story, when we just got Stanley, we decided to take him on a trip to Arizona, go see my folks. So we were going to jump seat. I was going to, or non-rev out on the first flight out of DFW. I think it was a 5 a.m. departure to Phoenix. And we took him in the bag. We had a little travel case for him. And I'd never flown with him before. I'm in uniform. My wife's with me. We get seats. We're like, awesome, we got seats. They seated us literally pretty much in this seat right here, just behind the wing. It might have been maybe 1 or 2 rows forward, pretty much where the PTU and the hydraulics are. And of course there was some mechanical issue on the airplane, so we were a little bit delayed, and it turns out they were going to do a ground air start. So what do? They start number 2 first. So doors are closed, they start number 2 first. And if you start number 2 first, what's going to happen if you start taxiing on number 2? PTU is going to start going off like crazy, right? Until you get number 1 up and running. Man, as soon as the PTU went off, my dog started howling like crazy. And here I am in uniform. It's 5:30 or 5:45 in the morning at this point. The airplane's completely dark because everyone's trying to sleep. I'm in uniform. My wife's next to me. The dog is under the seat in front of us, howling like crazy. He's getting his nose out of the zipper. He's starting to bust his nose out of the bag because he's freaking out. He thinks it's another dog. And it was just, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my privileges. I'm not going to be able to non-rev anymore. Flight attendant came down the aisle. She's like, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, we're trying. And so my wife tried to give him a treat to help calm him down. And as soon as she cracked that zipper a little bit more, he stuck his head out and his head like pops out of the bag. He's continuing to howl. The PTU is still going off because apparently they didn't want to start number 1. So we're taxiing on number 2 and the PTU is just ripping. I just remember, and then the flight attendant came back a second time as we're getting ready to get ready to take off. I guess they're going to start number 1 at some point, but the PTU is still going. And she's like, you need to have that dog secured for landing, like getting mad at me. And I'm like, here I am in uniform thinking they're going to kick us off. I'm done. So I just grabbed my hand and I just remember putting it on his little head and like just shoving his face back down into the soft pet carrier, feeling terrible. But it's like, I'm either going to lose my job or he's going to get out and run around and we'll never catch him. Then we're going to get kicked off. Like all these negative things. And not to mention it's 5:45 in the morning. So as soon as they started that first engine though, and the PTU stopped, he stopped. It's crazy. So it actually, when we landed in Phoenix, they shut down and the PTU kicked off for a second or two and he started barking again. But at that point it's 8:30 in the morning or 9 a.m. whatever it was. So it wasn't as embarrassing. But man, I was totally freaking out. And if y'all have a beagle or ever heard a beagle howl, and I trained my beagle had a track and a hunt, so he's wild, and he was just going at it at 5 in the morning on a Cactus. That was a U.S. Airways A321 actually, Cactus A321. But yeah, Azobo confirmed Microsoft 2024 is releasing in 2024. So they've already confirmed that. All right. Let me go down here. I'm trying to go down here. Hold on. Let me find a better playlist. Give me a second. What's this one? Whoa. Nope. Alright, we'll go with this playlist for a little bit. Look at the moon. Like, where is the moon? It's probably... There it is. Wow. I feel like that's a Mentor Pilot thumbnail shot or something. I just got to draw flames on the airplane. Airbus engine fire at night. Azobo better, and I mean better have at least a default aircraft. Well, so Syrup, I think what's going to happen is all this development that you've seen on the 787, I think that's all probably going to be standard in their 2024 platform. You know, you're going to have it ready to go out of the box, which I think is going to make a lot of people happy. So we'll see. I'm excited. I mean, what a time to be a simmer. Because, guys, this is unbelievable. You've got any builds cranking out airplanes and sceneries, Fenix, FlyByWire, Just Flight, PMDG, and we're getting a new updated 2024 sim. It's just going to be, there's so much going on in the sim right now that it is no doubt the best time to be a simmer. Like, it's absolutely amazing. Rox G85, welcome to Commercial Pilot. Thank you for joining the channel, Rox. Welcome on board, ! Welcome for your new perks here on board the V1 channel. Got to drop the kids at a golf tournament. Catch you on the first replay. Hey, Tyson, take it easy, man. Fonzie, yeah, she's like, he's got to be. You got to have that. You got to have him in the case or whatever. And my wife was trying to push his head down, and he was a young beagle at the time too, so real strong and just did not want to put his head in that case. So we eventually resorted to just continuously feeding him little bits of treats the entire flight, like at his nose. Like we had to open just enough where his nose was there, and we'd give him a little kernel. And he would eat that one, and he'd come back, and we'd give him another little kernel. We did that for the whole, hour and 40-minute flight over to Phoenix. Well, oh, come on, Chaos. These AAU2 and AAU3 updates are probably test updates for the new sim. Probably. Probably going to get some feedback on it, I would imagine. I'm so excited for Phoenix V2 with the IEs. Yes. The IEs have been sorely neglected. With as much Airbus that we have in the sim, we don't have any real good IEs. Now, I guess you do have the Latin VFR, but it's a whole nother discussion. A big 2024 thing is the increase in simulated surfaces, almost rivaling X-Plane. Digital Merc, very interesting. Very interesting, Digital Merc. Almost rivaling or almost exceeding? Is it already? I don't know. I mean, I'm very interested to see what 2024 brings. How do they change? Because I listened to the Microsoft team at the FS Expo and their speech, and I know they talked about the missions and giving simmers things to do, which is kind of what I assumed, but I really want to get my hands on that sim when it comes out and see, did they change base stuff like you're saying, Digital Merc, with the simulated surfaces of the airframe? So that'd be cool. Rotor says, I was apprehensive at first, but I'm all in now. I'm very excited, especially that new ATC program. Yes, Rotor Fib. I saw some of y'all talking about it in the Discord. That ATC system, for sure, is going to help. And I am going to, no doubt, we're going to do like a mini one time a month or however the timeline is. We're going to do a Talk to ATC tutorial stream at least once a month. I'm just going to say that now. I might change that. But where I will either go to a VAT sim area that's staffed, or we'll do a Pilot Edge thing, and I'm going to make streams tailored towards the very intro ATC, because I feel like that is a huge part that a lot of people are maybe apprehensive to get started in, and they're apprehensive to go down the rabbit hole, and that's totally normal, because even in real life, private pilot students, the first time they key the mic, they're freaking out. Like almost everybody is. It's normal. I remember the first time I keyed the mic, I was like, okay, I'm at the av fuel sign, I say my tail number, and I say this. Okay, keyed the mic. Deer Valley Tower. Yeah, I mean, even I did it. So it's 4:58 in the morning for you, Syrup. Oh man, get some sleep, dude. Good UK evening, Captain Hayden. Welcome, man. Yeah, it gives you snarky responses. Yeah. 2024 is a new sim. Don't say new game. But yes, it is. Do you hear yourself in the headset? Are you talking about in real life? You'll hear yourself on the intercom if you have intercom. And depending on your headset and if you have intercom, you can, yes. But it's dependent on the airplane. That freaked me out when I started as a flight medic. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. If you're a flight medic, rotor fib, were you like roto, like helicopters? Because I see your rotor fib. Were you flight medic on helicopters? I used to talk to a lot of med flight guys in California that were on the Cheyenne, which I thought was a crazy airplane. So I flew the Chieftain and the Navajo, which are twin pistons. But there was a Navajo, or I guess it'd be a Chieftain, that was retrofitted with PT-6 engines. That would be something cool to see in the sim. An absolute rocket ship. So they took a twin piston and put PT-6 turboprops on it. They call it the Cheyenne. I think it's the Cheyenne. And there was a med flight. There was a medical company out there that did EMS in that airplane. Those guys, I remember the first time I saw it on the ramp, I went up, I was like, hey, I got to look at this airplane, man, because I fly the same airplane, but it doesn't have PT-6s. Let me see what this is. And I guess they had a bunch of problems with the wings falling off because of the amount of torque. And there wasn't a very safe airplane. BKG Blueface, I did. I watched a video of that 717 with the no nose wheel landing. Those pilots did a great job. Did you catch the Airbus channel detailing apparent flaw that if flaps is not deployed in approach mode, you can initiate go down and it will just speed up and continue descent? Hold on. Let me think about this. Airbus channel detailing the apparent flaw that if flaps are not deployed in approach mode, you can initiate a go around and it will just speed up and continue descent. No, I've never heard of that. Are you talking about false glide slope? Because you can do it on a false glide slope, but Airbus fixed that after those French guys almost stalled the 319. I'm not quite familiar with what you're talking about. Because I would think if you've cycled the box, because you can land 0 flap, 0 slat and go around. We do no flap landings all the time, but you have to have your box set up properly, though. You have to be in the approach phase. Did you say game? I am Sir Boris Borisin, the 4th junior senior, the 3rd, and I come from Avsim to being misfortunate upon you. Oh, man. The new 350F livery, Syrup, I actually like it. I think it's pretty unique. I actually like that new 350 freighter livery. I think it's pretty cool. It's good that Airbus branches out and does something a little unique, right? All right, the sun has set. I think we're out over the Yucatan. Let's go back here. I don't need that. Oh yeah, now we can see our flight. So we're over here somewhere. Let's do a little cockpit vibe. Let's do what I used to hate what captains do. We'll turn on the dome light. Put you guys in the jump seat here for a little bit. Jump seat stories with V1. If you ever get a chance to go out to Deer Valley, it's changed a lot. Cutter built a hangar on the old Westwind ramp. Joe, really? Westwind? That's where I used to work, Joe. Small world, man. Which isn't Westwind now United Aviate? I think it's United Aviate, right? I would love to go back out there. I have some friends that are still that work at the United Aviate program. Wings staying attached, very juicy. V2 plus 10, yeah. Yeah, that Cheyenne, from what I gathered, is just it's probably the closest thing to getting into a military aircraft as a civilian is a Cheyenne. Or maybe like the Turbine Duke is probably up there too. But I think it's even more powerful than the Duke. It'll be fixed in 2025. Interesting, Analog. I'll have to look into that. You get the nitro cold brew or the normal cold brew? Maze, I normally get the nitro cold brew if I go to Starbucks, but I've kind of backed off that Starbucks quite a bit. I try to find the like a local shop or a Pete's. Pete's is my go-to airport coffee, and if it's not, I'll try to find maybe a local shop there. But if I got to go to Starbucks, I get the nitro cold brew. Two brothers created it, that livery? That's interesting. I can't remember their ages, but I know they were young. Interesting. Caravans were sold to Ameriflight at Phoenix? Really? Wow. That's crazy. Times have changing, man. No doubt about it. Title is 320 non-engagement of go-around mode and clean FAPS configuration. I'll have to look into it. I've never heard of that happening, but I'll look into it, man. It's funny because my university library coffee is like 10 times better than Starbucks coffee for a third of the price. Starbucks is expensive, man, no doubt about it. That's kind of also why I stopped. I started realizing if you ever watch, so if you order a Starbucks, watch them make your coffee. And if you're not getting just a regular brew or a drip coffee, they put in like maybe if you have a grande or a medium, they put in maybe 2 or 3 inches of coffee, and then the rest is ice and syrups and sugars, and it's crazy. So just watch next time you go there. Bren, I do now, yes. I've had a soft spot for Dunkin', to be honest. Oh, Hotshot. I do love Dunkin' too. So Pete's, Dunkin', Caribou, anything local, for sure. I Dunkin' iced coffee. Now, here's a question though. Did they change the Dunkin' iced coffee and give you only? Did we already listen to this song? I think we did. Maybe not. Huh. But I swear Dunkin' has changed now. They use like syrup sugar instead of, they used to use regular cane sugar, right? Now there's like syrup at the bottom of my iced coffee. Dunkin' cream is best cream. Dunkin' is good, man. I watched Green Dot Aviation video on EasyJet 319, had a massive radio failure. Jeremy, our YouTube must be synced because that came into my suggestion feed the other day, and I watched it as well. That one was very interesting, how they had that radio failure and they couldn't talk to anybody. Man, good on the controller for getting it to sidestep a couple 100 feet on that American, but that was pretty crazy, Jeremy. Very close call indeed. Very close call. Also, be sure to watch your bank balance if you're at Starbucks every day. Yes, indeed. You Americans and your chains, visit your local roastery. Aaron, the problem is that they make small business has been it's taken the brunt of pretty much everything lately. So, but I do support it here. There's the V1 HQ location, or it should be the V2 location. There is a local coffee shop, roastery, as you Irish lads call it, I guess. About 3 minutes. I mean, it's probably faster for me to go there and come back here than it would be for me to get out of the cockpit and go up the jet bridge, go get a coffee and come back down. It's that close, and they have phenomenal coffee, man. So good. So that's what I get every time I come in and do a stream. When you become a pilot, was a degree still required for the airlines? Yes. Yep. They didn't start dropping that until probably like a couple of years ago, 2 years ago. That's been a requirement for quite some time. It's still preferred, no doubt. It's still preferred. But if you can get an online degree or something, just to get your name in that side of the hat, it doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. When are your cockpit confessionals coming back? It's a great question. Unless you're getting close to the Rockies, you're not going to easily find non-chain coffee. Yes, it's also very true. What do you think of the criticism in that video? Well, you can't tell whether the button on the overhead is pressed or not, except for the captain lights. Oh, the lights in the buttons. I don't know. I think you can tell. depending on which button it is. So the batteries, you can tell. I mean, you can tell, but I think startle factor, Jeremy, it will have something to do with it, and you're not, you're kind of freaking out. I don't quite remember what the criticism was, other than not being able to see the lights, but I know most Airbuses now, at least in the States, they use the automatic essential feed transfer, and then we have an alternate. So I think that probably came from that accident, actually, or from that near accident, I should say. That's why even the Fenix has the automatic AC essential transfer, so you don't have to do it manually. But I think it was just one of those situations, Jeremy, where you got two guys that are confident in the airplane, maybe a little bit of complacency. It's a beautiful day, and then one small thing leads to another, and then bam, you're in the dark. So it just, and that's how those things happen. One small thing leads to another, and then all of a sudden something more severe happens, and you have that startle factor. And being, I won't say victim, but having experienced an in-flight emergency in the Airbus myself, with it also being an electrical emergency, I can tell you from a first-person standpoint, and especially as you guys hear me preach about situational awareness all the time, a real-life emergency, your situational awareness is dramatically reduced, no matter how well prepared you think you are. It's just human nature. It's human psychology, and the more you're aware of it, the better. But I can see how that happens, because it always seems like the near misses or some accidents, some of the worst accidents don't happen in terrible weather when everyone is hyper focused and vigilant. They happen when it's just, nothing crazy going on. You had that near catastrophic accident in Kennedy where American was crossing the wrong runway. I mean, it's a clear night, nothing's happening. Now Delta, they aborted in time. It saved a lot of lives that night. But had that have been an accident, there wasn't low vis. They weren't using their Cat 3 SMIGS charts, being hyper vigilant. It's just when crews get complacent, and everyone falls victim to a level of complacency at some point. Whether or not you want to admit it, we all follow victim to slight complacency on the line, especially when you're flying 3-4 legs a day for 3, 4, 5 days in a row. It just happens. That makes the Starbucks orders even worse. V1, support the roastery. Black Rifle has good coffee. Yes, Brad K, I do have some Black Rifle coffee. 258Z, that is probably sim time. So let's see what the time is right now. Yeah, so 58Z sim time. So that's 47 minutes. Do math. 47 minutes till arrival. So the sim time is sped up because we're doing a nighttime flight right now. Oh, wow. Look at the lights. Oh, that's kind of cool. Hold on. Let's go here. Let's go back to this view. Or should we do this one? No, this one here. I love seeing the... I could fall asleep to this right here. That's just an awesome shot. Man, we lucked out with a full moon. Things happen in a mid-plane. Oh my gosh, Team Vodka. Sean says, I had my first flight lesson a couple days ago. Didn't end up flying, but my first official flight will be a couple of weeks in the blue-seated Piper Warrior, the mighty Warrior. Sean, very exciting, man. Enjoy the journey, dude. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy every flight that you go up and do. And it's going to be fun, man. You're only a new pilot. You're only a student pilot one time. So enjoy the whole process. Both pilots were relatively new and came from the 7... You're down the EasyJet. Oh, they were new to the 7.3? Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. Maybe. I'd have to probably rewatch it. I just... When I watched it, I don't remember thinking that Mentor pilot was overly critical or anything like that. I'd have to watch it again. I fell asleep to it. I mean, it's either Mentor Pilot or Green Dot Aviation that goes on the big screen TV before I go to sleep, so. Do math, I told myself the same thing on my differential equations final and got a 70. There you go. Music and beacons are in sync. That's funny. Oh, Scotty too, Italy, man. The way Italians, and I think it has to do with the beans. I mean, American coffee and where we get our beans and the amount of processing and the amount of processed syrups that are used and cleansers in the United States just don't make it compare, man. And I wouldn't even say just coffee. I would say food in general. Like, I see Matteo Chewy and all these people in other parts of the world posting in the food channel on our Discord. They post all these wonderful pictures up of high quality produce and meat. I'm like, man, it's very hard to find that in the United States, no doubt. Nothing is crazy. ACA 759 who tried to land on taxiway. Yes, the Air Canada. Yes, Nick. And I was thinking of that too. Another very near catastrophic accident in VMC conditions, just at night, tired, complacent. That one, though, I'm kind of, I understand how it happened, but I can't believe that it came that close, because you always put the runway in the box, even if it's a visual approach. Put something in the box. Put the extended runway centerline. Even if there's not an approach in the Airbus, you just select the runway and it will automatically draw an extended centerline from the runway. Just put something in the box. Never fly an approach to a runway with nothing in the box. That's just a way to land at the wrong airport, wrong runway, taxiway, and or who knows. America is known for one thing, deep fried. Yeah, a lot of deep frying going on. Aaron says, my girlfriend has promised to buy me my first flying lesson, but I'm struggling to build up the courage. How do I get the push I need? Guinness. I'm just messing. Don't do that. What? Oh, man, you don't need to... Listen, Aaron. If you're worried, like, from a safety standpoint, the drive to the airport is more dangerous statistically than you going up and flying in your first lesson. So don't have a fear of that. Now, if you're a little bit anxious just for the whole scenario, that's normal. But it's an experience that we can talk about it all we want in our sims and on our desktop simulators, but until you go take that first step and do that first discovery flight or discovery lesson or intro lesson, you only know when you experience it. And if you do it, you will understand a whole lot more when I say things like, yeah, when you experience that or this, you'll understand. So it's one of those things, man, where take the plunge and just be open with the instructor that you would go with. Say, hey, look, I'm really kind of apprehensive on this whole thing. Like, if I'm nervous, can we come back earlier? Like, just be open about it. Like, that's one of the things that I remember as an instructor, taking folks up on Groupon flights that have never even been to an airplane or never been on an airplane before, and their significant other or whatnot has bought them an intro flight, and they don't know if they're going to like it or not. But the ones that were always open, like, hey, I'm super nervous about this, I'm like, don't worry. And then that cues me in as the instructor to explain everything I'm doing, because I feel like if you're apprehensive of going up to fly, the more you know what's going on, the less concerned you're going to be. So I say, hey, I'm going to do this right now, which is doing that, doing this and that. Whereas if I were just to get in and go through my startup flow, crank the engine and start rolling, they might feel more apprehensive to what's happening. So if you're open to the instructor, that's going to help. That's going to help them communicate with you, and I think it's going to make for a better experience. I think the minimum clearance between Air Canada and aircraft 15 feet. Yeah, it was very close, Nick. Very, very close. David, flying requires less skill these days, and new generations of pilots are just lazy with very little actual flying ability. David, I don't disagree. to an extent. There was definitely a lack of fundamental flying skills in new pilots. The fundamentals of aviation, the stick and rudder fundamentals, are definitely lacking. Definitely lacking. I just looked up FAC Light and Googled something about this new inbuild here, but it only shows the A300, 600. Yeah, it's still kept under wraps. It's still pretty secret right now. Aaron, come to the States, man, and I'll take you up. I don't know what it is, man. It's like everything that's been building up to this one moment, you know? Thanks for the awesome advice. Appreciate it. Aaron, absolutely. Absolutely. Aaron, if you can make it out to the States, man, I'll take you up. But that might be more scary because the last time I landed a Cessna was over a decade ago, so I might start flaring at 50 feet, which may not end well for both of us, but hey, we'll go down together, right? But no, man, like I said, be open with the person that's going to take you up, and just remember, the statistics are on your side. I don't know if you're an analytical person or not, but statistically, if you make it to the airport, you already passed the most dangerous part. Do the new pilots fly the A350? Yeah. So, Jeremy, your comment went off the screen, but as far as criticisms from Mentor Pilot, I think the only I think Mentor Pilot does a very good job at being or speaking from a neutral standpoint, I guess, when he brings up topics. When he starts getting into U.S. aviation and how things are done in the States is when I think I start to split off from some of his inputs and some of his opinions. Specifically when he went, of course, that 1,500 hour rule video that he did. It wasn't a bad video by any means. I just think that from someone I have flown with pilots who have flown in a full military service career. I've flown with pilots who have zero experience. This is their 1,700 hour CFIs. I have flown with pilots that are 10,000 hours on the Airbus, that have more time on the Airbus than I do. The thing is, I don't care how you beat around the bush, there is no substitute for experience when it comes to flying. And when I say experience, I mean the fundamentals of flying. And I almost think the more advanced aircraft you're going to, the better your fundamentals of flying need to be. So if I am a new pilot, I'm going straight into the A350, like you can do it in Europe when they do those programs, because you get hired like 250 hours and you sit right seat in a 350. If that pilot, in my opinion, should have spent 1,500 hours flying single pilot freight at night in the mountains, because he's going to need that fundamental more than someone going to a 7.3 where you're still kind of building that, the 7.3 is still an old airplane. I mean, it's still basically the same as it was in 1930. It's very much a stick and rudder aircraft. So the more advanced airplane you're going into, the more basic fundamentals you should have, in my opinion. But that's not happening, and that's why I think you start to see the reliance on automation and issues arise from that. Nick, take it easy, man. Appreciate you stopping by. All right, we should do a little cruise check up here. We're 293 miles. Just getting ready to start our top of descent. Everything is looking good. I was liking this wing view out here, though, for sure. Do I not have an aft? I guess I don't. Right there. It's about as close as I can get. I remember my first introductory flight 18 years ago on landing. Started, okay, pull up, pull up, pull up. Yes. If I had $1 for every time I said the words pull up, flare, or right rudder, I would have enough money to retire. Mentor does a really good job at explaining why a certain rule exists and why doing this or that is produced. Yes, I agree. K6, good to see you, man. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I'll take a free Cessna lesson from V1. Where do I sign up? Key 6, it'd be fun, man. It would be fun. I don't even know. I think I'd have to get I mean, I would love to go do a GA flight again. I really would. I haven't been in a GA airplane in a very long time. Thank you, Key 6, for the support. No chaos, no rants, no rants. How did you manage poor instructors during training? You mean poor instructors that I had? I will say that I was pretty fortunate with my instructors. I had my first instructor for my PPL was awesome, and he actually got me into aerobatics like right out of the gate. So I was so obsessed with how how flying, like just the science behind flying and lift and drag. And what keyed it off was he did the whole old school demonstration. Okay, here's a wing on the whiteboard, and lift is, the relative wind and the angle of attack. And it was showing me, and I was like, well, how do planes fly upside down then? And then he's like, okay, I see that we need to do. And then from there, he's like, all right, let's get into it hardcore. And then he actually was on the lead aerobatic team, I think, or he was like the flight lead for the school's aerobatic team and whatnot. So he was a phenomenal instructor. The instructor I had after that was so-so, but because I had such a good fundamental with my first instructor on my PPL, it didn't really matter. And once you get past your private pilot, your instrument rating, there's only so much the instructor's going to teach you. That's on you to learn. And the instrument rating is very much a book study and technical rating. Getting into the commercial license, at that point, if you've done your instrument, you've done your private, you know how to self-study. You don't have to rely on your instructor. I think at that point, you need someone that you have a good relationship with and you have good communication with. It doesn't matter if they're not the best pilot in the flight school, but if you have a good working relationship with them and your commercial rating and up, you're going to be fine because you already have those basics down. Havoc gifted 5 more members to the channel. Havoc, appreciate the support, man. Takahuri Sims 737 pilot, Learjet Dog. It's a good name. Arid and Tummy all got new memberships from Havoc. Havoc, appreciate the support, man. Very kind. Thank you. A Learjet. That's an airplane that'll put some hair on your chest right there. It's been a while since I've been in a 172. We'll figure it out together. It might be too late by the time we figure it out. That's the problem. Biggest issue is that pilots used to come from the government institution, Air Force, etc. Now they mostly come from private education. I don't know if that's an issue. I will say some of the hardest pilots to get in the groove of commercial aviation are the military guys, because they never had a contact ramp. They never had a call clearance delivery. They never had to deal with fuelers and passengers. So getting a pilot who's had a whole military career into the civil side, a lot think, just because they're in the military, they're going to be the best. But while their flying skills are probably very sharp and on point, it's all the other stuff in the commercial world that takes a while to get them in the rhythm. I would much rather have a guy who spent 5 years at a regional than a military guy who this is his first commercial airplane and it's his first job in the 121 world, but he flew F-16s for 10 years. And if you're a member, you probably listen to that podcast and you know exactly what I'm getting at. So there was a couple instances last year that I had with new military pilots. And I mean, you come out of a 20-year war, you're going to have a lot of new pilots with military experience. And 2 of those guys put our aircraft, well, I shouldn't say them. We were put in situations that were definitely a bit hairy. And I think a lot of it has to do with some of that background. I think it depends on what they did in the military. My old man was a 141, and he transitioned okay to this. Yeah, Steven, you're probably correct. Yeah, it has to be with what, unless you're a 20-year Navy guy flying 737 Poseidons around, then you come to the Airbus. That's how you end up landing outside the touchdown zone in a thunderstorm. My bore was in the my boy was in the Air Force and now flies for AA. He said 0 issues transitioning. And Zach, I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying it's more likely. More likely. And he may have had 0 issues, but what about the captains he's flying with? Because I can tell you the 2 guys that I flew with that we were in some interesting scenarios with, I didn't say anything. Like, I didn't say, oh, man, I wish I was flying with a regional guy instead of you. I didn't say that. As far as they knew, everything was fine. But, yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm not saying, and like I don't want it to be any shit, because some of the best guys, I'll tell you what's interesting, some of the best pilots that I've flown with are actually career helicopter guys. I flew with one guy who was a H-60 Black Hawk guy for, I don't know, the last 10 years, and phenomenal pilot. I flew with an Apache Squadron commander, phenomenal guy. Like, and it's like, and they had very low fixed wing time. I mean, very, very low. I think less than 500 hours fixed wing. And here they are, flying Airbuses around or other commercial jet, and they are phenomenal. So it's not everybody. I'm sharing my experiences that I am personally going through. But yeah, the helicopter guys are awesome, and I have a fascination with helicopters too. So I always love having discussions. And one of my buddies who was like I said, the Apache Squadron commander. We talk. I mean, every time we fly, it's like I hope we have a long cruise, because I could just listen to him talk for hours on end. Elliot says, "Hey man, I love the streams we want. I'm in the UK, probably confined to just the PPL. I was looking at sponsorships back in the day, but 9/11 happened and it was all scrapped. Now I price out. Ouch. Yes, Elliot, 9/11 did unfortunately do some serious damage to that. But don't give up, Elliot. If you really want it, get that PPL, find a way to make it happen, and then you'll look back and you'll. I don't think anybody who's gotten a PPL looks back and says, "Oh, it was not worth it." I'm just now leaving the military as an Apache crew chief. Oh, Reno 69, that's awesome. Hopefully able to transfer to the airline soon. Well, Reno 69, appreciate your service, and that's very exciting. It's good. From what I've been told from the guys leaving the military, so rotor wing specifically, or guys that fly helicopters, they're how did he put it? Basically, you're treated much better. It's just, I guess the last guy I flew with who flew back Blackhawks for a long time, he said he just, for the amount of experience that he had and the amount of time and status that he's accumulated in the military, they still weren't treated with, I don't necessarily know if respect is the right word, but I mean, I guess you're still looked at it like a grunt. They don't appreciate the fact that you are an aviator, is the way he put it to me. These aren't my words. This is what he told me. And now with the way the airlines are hiring right now, it's a great time to get in. But I was kind of surprised because I remember him saying, he said, yeah, it's like even though we're pilots, they were still expected to do a bunch of grunt work. It's just, yeah, so. I wonder what it would be like for a Boeing test pilot or an Airbus test pilot to go fly for an airline. That would be very interesting, Jeremy. Kelly Simmer says, I remember that one cockpit confessional where your relatively new FO who had the military background straight up froze and you had to take over the spicy landing. Kelly Simmer, yeah, that's what I was referring to. I did have an F-16 guy completely lock up on me in a very spicy scenario, which is on the Cockpit Confessional podcast. You can pick it up if you are a member. All right, how are we looking for Cozumel? We are 215 miles out. We'll let this song play, and then we will probably start prepping for our descent. We'll get a little bit of moonshine here. Moonshine? A little bit of moonshine view. And then it's time to wrap up the music and start prepping for the descent. Can you jump seat if you have a PPL? No. No, you have to be CAS. In the United States, we call it CAS, or Cockpit Access Security System, or Screening System. So you got to be CAS approved. No, you cannot print in the Fenix, Ferraz. Why are we flying at night? I wasn't around when the stream started, Robert S. Because we're doing we did a sunset departure out of Mexico City, and it was one of the most stunning departures we've done in a while. And the fly-by-wire at night's amazing. Night lighting on the fly-by-wire is spicy. Drinking moonshine now, V1. I guess I'm in the land of shine, right? That sweet Georgia shine, boy. Imagine the Czech airman giving the oral exam to a former test pilot. Yeah, that would be... Yeah, you sit down for your oral exam and be like, okay, I know more than you do, but go ahead. It would probably be a very boring exam, that's for sure, Don. Different topic. I saw the Paris Air Show when the Airbus crew made the stunt flying. Do you think they were flying in normal or direct mode? Are you talking about when they flew the one off the runway into the trees? Is that the one you're referring to? They were in normal law when that happened, as far as I can remember. The airplane was in landing mode, or in flare mode or something. I don't know. That one boiled down to, I want to say, lack of understanding, but also lack of training on the part of air. Like, it should have been well known what's going to happen at this altitude. And I don't believe that maneuver was practiced and prepared for. So there's a phrase in aviation: there are old pilots and there are bold pilots, but there are no old, bold pilots. Pierce, the easiest way is to get hired by an airline. There are some other scenarios, like dispatching. You can be a dispatcher. You can also become CAS approved. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and see. Yep, that's time. Ding, ding, ding. It's a good song. All right, we're bringing up the sounds. Let's go back to work, shall we? Let's go ahead and pull the ATIS weather request just from Cozumel. We'll send that off. That's going to do its thing. We're going to go over here. We're going to go here. I'm going to fill data from here. Mike Charlie Zulu. Very cool. We're going to do that here in just a minute. We'll print that to see where we are. Get the terrain up. Oh yeah, we're right over the Yucatan. Man, the outside sounds are awesome. Just listening to those engines running. No, we will not be going around. Our fuel on board was pretty weak, wasn't it? What do we got? Well, this is saying 7.2. Oh, you know what? Why we don't have any extra gas? It's because of our alternate. Our alternate is Belize, which is pretty far away. So that's why we have that. Oh, I got some in my eye. Hold on. All right. What do we have down there? 8 miles, broken 15, towering cumulonimbus, temperature 33, 040 at 11. Magnetic, what? Oh, wrong box. 040 at 11. QNH is 2993. We'll set that there. All right, let's look at the Barrow for the RNAV 12. We'll come back to this. Let's go over to here. R2. Let's go to our pin charts. RNAV 12. And LNAV. So it's an LNAV approach only with an MDA of 500. So MDA must do addition. We got to add 50 feet. So we're going to do 550 on the Barrow ref. 550. We will not need our LS push buttons. Let's take a look at our arrival here. So now we'll go back to our arrival, which I did not pin. So the star was RNAV 12s. Should we land 1-2 or should we land, I mean 3, we could land on 3 or 5. No, we don't want to land on 5 because then we got to taxi all the way. So we'll continue with 1-2, a little bit of a crosswind. Runway heading while I'm looking at it is 118 degrees. So let's do this. Let's go 118, enter, dry, slope is 0, landing distance available is, how long was that runway? Oh, that's going to be in meters. 8858. That's in feet. Approach speed. Our VAP is 129. Whoa. 129 K knots. Gross weight, we're 132.4. We'll call it 132 even. 132.000. That's in pounds. Enter that. Flaps full. Overweight, no. Reverse thrust, no. Auto land, no. Calculate. Why can't we calculate? Do I have to put a 1 there? Runway elevation. Oh, it's like 5. $88.02 landing distance available. We're going to be plenty good in any of that. Max 41.43, medium 52.90, 76.25 with low. We're going to do manual brakes, full reverse. Probably get off somewhere in the middle there. 52.89. All right, so that's good. Our landing data is set. Let's go back to our chart here real quick. And on the approach, RMP 12, we're going to make a right-hand turn off. I want to do full screen on you. And actually, we need to go to the star, though. We need to go to this one here. AvSim is at 18,000 feet. Make sure that's in there. Altitude constraint at AvSim. We gotta make this 18,000. Descent. 18,000 is set. Let's make sure everything else is in there. We'll step through 18 at Av. I think we have another one here. Ongov is at 3, 4. Ongov is at 4. And then we're gonna pick up the approach. Oh, we should have done the approach from Ongov instead of Exuble. So what we can do is we can just delete Exuble. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's see if we can really mess with the fly-by-wire planning. Approach via Ongov. Avsic 1 insert. Alright, that looks better. It says we can't make AvSim at 18. Why not? We need to start down. 18 is set. Mock descent. Here we go. There's a bug where it can delete the restriction on the transition. Is that a bug, Chaos, or a feature? Because I know if you change a transition in the real airplane, it'll delete any manually input altitudes. That's the real airplane. LDA is 8202. Good deal. We'll be all right. I can see we're going to start down. We're going to be before AvSim. Ooh,
As we have noticed, we have begun our initial
a real fake pilot.
destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for a ride.
Orion, do I prefer LED or incandescent lights? I like the incandescent ones just because it's more cozy. But the LED ones are more functional, no doubt. All right, we are set up. Dome light is off. Let me turn that. There we go. Perfect level, just like that. I got my side stick light to match my light in the office here so you can see it. Here we go. Looking good. The captain sounds like he's on go home flight. I know. You can see the EFB through the cockpit window. Do you guys see that? Now that is cool. My friend flies for JetBlue, and he says one of his best ground school instructors was a paraplegic, so that gives me hope. Jeremy, awesome, man. Jeremy, have hope. I'm gonna put you in touch with someone here too.
V1, what do you think about GSX Pro animated 3D passengers?
Diego, thank you so much for the $3 bank angle check again. What do I think about the Pro animated passengers? You mean like what they look like? I think for a sim, it's pretty good. I don't want to waste any more frames on trying to make them look any more realistic, but I enjoy them. I enjoy when GSX Pro is synced up to the airplane you're flying, like in the fly-by-wire. I love it. I think it works phenomenal. I like seeing the animations. I really also enjoy when you go to a hard stand and it brings passenger buses. That is pretty neat as well. So I enjoy them, Diego. I think it's gotten to a point now where if you're looking for that simulating of the pre and post flight duties, I don't think you can go wrong with GSX now. When it first came out, I was definitely skeptical and I was not very happy, but as more and more developers are implementing the tandem cooperation between GSX and their airplanes, I like it. Oh, you mean having them in the cabin? If it doesn't cost me any frames, cool. If it's going to cost me frames, I could live without it. Because you know what the best part of my job is in real life? I'm not even... Hold on. Let me do it for you. You know what the best part is about my job in real life? That right there. Closing that door, locking it, and just sitting up here and not have to deal with any of that nonsense in the back. Because I'll tell you what, especially post-COVID and during COVID, there was a whole lot of nonsense going on back there. I wonder if Lauderdale and Atlanta have air conditioning for the jet bridges. Some of them do, some don't, Jeremy. It really just depends on the jet bridge. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. For the most part, though, they are working. But it still gets pretty hot. Atlanta gets pretty hot with the jet bridges. I've noticed more broken in Atlanta than other airports I go to. Flight dispatch says GSX is basically my real job, coordinating the turnaround. There you go. So will that ProPax update, are you going to watch them come down the jet bridge, get on the airplane, and go to a seat, or are they just going to kind of like morph on and then pop up in the seats? That's going to be interesting. I have to see it. I mean, I guess we don't have a choice, right? It's in the update. It's coming, so. Can you remove it? Can you remove that option? Because what if you want to do cabin tours and you don't want everybody in the seats? And how do they know where the seats are? Do you have to download profiles for each cabin airplane? Lauren, it could be. But I've been to a few of them. Basically, if it's not the internet, if it's not terminal, what's the international? D? E? E. Yeah, if it's not E, I mean, even on the T gates, they suck. Atlanta Airport, just sucks in general. I'm just gonna say that. It's too crowded, man. It's too crowded. It being the most efficient airport in the world can be so much more efficient if they just updated a few things. Like if there was another set of trains that ran above ground, like DFW has a sky train that goes around terminal. If you had another train that went above ground, awesome. The whole plane train system is probably my least favorite part about Atlanta. I hate going down to the tunnels. I hate getting on that freaking plane train. I hate how they shut it down one direction at night. It's just I'm not falling for the rant again. We're not ranting. Whole of nonsense going on back there in what way? Unruly passengers disagreeing with policies? Just passengers in general, man. The general flying public. It may sound crude, but trust me, when you fly for a living and you are taking hundreds, if not thousands, of people every day for 4, 5, 6 days in a row, you are just done with everybody's nonsense. So it's taxing. It's taxing. That's why the best part, closing that door. Now, I will say what never gets old is kids that want to see the cockpit and or just people in general. Like I still get the occasional adults that want to come up and hang out and take pictures. I love that. That never gets old. I will always make time for that. Always. But just the general traveling public sucks in the United States. And like dispatch, I don't know if you've noticed that too, but like, and you said after COVID, yes. Before COVID, it wasn't at the forefront of my mind, but after COVID happened and people had to wear masks and then they had to deal with all that, they just continued. I feel like people never regained self-respect, you know? I mean, you got flight attendants getting punched in the mouth. You got people just being drunk and unruly on all airplanes. You got people opening doors on the airplane. Like, what is going on? I remember... Here we go. We're ranting. Damn it. Damn it, chaos. Please stand clear of the door. This plane train is now departing. Please stand. And you know what else pisses me off about the freaking plane train? So because they're doing maintenance on the south, or what is it, the west side, they make you stay on the train, or they have an announcement that says if you need elevator access to the baggage claim here, please exit at this stop, which is fine. But then they make the train sit there for an extra like 3 minutes. So you have to sit there and listen to that announcement over and over and over and over before the train goes. I get it. Yes, if you have a stroller, if you need a wheelchair, if you need elevator access to baggage claim, beautiful. You have a stop, you have an announcement, but you don't need to hold the train for an additional 3 minutes on top of the additional 2 minutes that it sits there normally. There we go. Beagle's barking at the PTU. It's crazy out there. Yeah, man. DB Cooper has entered the chat. That was legendary, Lauren. Legendary. Yes, there's something to be said about that, Analog. When you make airfare accessible to everybody, you will get all types of passengers, indeed. As non-PC as that may be to say, it is the cold, hard truth. All right, 4,000 feet is set. We're going to hit the magic barrel ref key for altimeters. Oh, no, I clicked it. Oh, no. 29903 is what we need. 29903 is set. Out constraint. Good job, FlyByWire VNav. We're out constraint. We're at 18,000 feet. See traffic off my nose there. Wow, look at that. That's cool. So we should theoretically continue down after AVSIM. We'll see how it handles here. It's been a beautiful night flight. I always love talking to the flight deck when signing off paperwork. We're always talking about the Airbus, and they love showing me things that you share your knowledge about in the on stream. I love it. That's awesome, Flight Dispatch. Yeah, that is very cool. And like I said, I will always make time for anybody who is interested in the airplane and wants to see it, because it's aviation as a whole, whether it's real world aviation or simulator aviation. It's a unique passion, and I feel like everybody's in the same group, right? We're all passionate about the same thing, so it makes it very easy to get along with and share experiences with. Look at that, descent starting after AvSim, right on cue, looking very good. Maybe if everyone knew how much juice V1 was pouring out there, they would relax. Man, I had one guy. Oh man, should I tell this publicly? Let me think about this. I rarely use. I try not to use profanity in general. Now, when I'm in uniform, especially, right? I reached my breaking point last week with a passenger whom I had perfect authority and probably was expected of me to have said passenger arrested. But I was after sharing a few expletives with him, obviously post-flight, I asked him, I said I had my own words with him. I didn't, but that's when I said I need a week off. I'll save that story for the podcast. Basically, a chain of events started happening, and then this passenger did something that was in line of the chain of events that were happening in the airplane, which I thought was going to make I thought we were going to have to do an emergency diversion, but we didn't. And so at the end of all that, I ended up having a discussion with the passenger, and he went on his merry way, but yeah, that'll be a cockpit confessional. Ryan, good to see you, man. Welcome back to Commercial Pilot, Ryan. Glad to have you on board. Is it best to ask to visit cockpit before, while boarding, or during deboarding? Connor, that's going to vary greatly. I think your best chances are probably during boarding, before the flight while boarding. Now, the reason I say that, because on the deboarding process, if that flight crew is going home, they're probably not going to hang around the cockpit. Now, even me, like as much as I want to get home, especially after a long trip, if I'm leaving the cockpit, getting ready to leave, and there's a kid or someone wants to see it, of course, I'll put my stuff down. Matter of fact, I had a kid turn on the external power for me, and he shut off the APU the other day because he caught me while they were deboarding. But I would say in general, if you can do it while boarding, you're not going to disturb them. I mean, I know there's kind of like you feel like, oh, they're preparing for the flight. Yeah, they're preparing for the flight, but we can literally get the airplane set up in probably 10 minutes. So the whole boarding process is plenty of time for us to do what we need to do. That's probably your best bet. But if you catch them on the D plane, that's not bad either. When people clap, can you hear them? Diego, it depends on how many clap. And not during reverse thrust. If you got reverse thrust out on a 319, you're not going to hear anything. But I did land in Ponce, Puerto Rico, and it was an absolute butter landing. And it was a nice visual approach. You do the tight turn there at like 100 feet over the mountain. A really sweet approach. We're going to have to do some V-spiritual weighings ops down there. But after that landing, everyone started clapping. I was like, really? They're clapping? But, I mean, a lot of people cringe when other passengers clap, but
Too bad you
I think it's kind of neat.
Full metal jacket sergeant and yell at him to get the F off my plane. Of course, in the movie, the sergeant said obstacle course, but you get the idea.
Callie Simmer, thanks for the $5 bank angle check, dude. Appreciate you. I did, in an essence, tell him to get the F off my plane after I was done. In the essence of that. But we're not gonna. I gave the guy a break, so I felt he was genuine in his apology, but I was heated. I was definitely very heated because we almost had to do a diversion, emergency diversion. And like I said, I'll leave it at that. I'll save that for the podcast. Thank you, Kelly Simmer. Appreciate you. Now, I will say that I've gotten lucky and I've chatted on the interphone during cruise. Really, Jeremy, that's awesome, man. That is really awesome, man. All right, we're at 10,000 feet. Lights are on. We should probably make a radio call. I don't even know where we are. There we are. On God, 15 miles. Cozumel traffic. Oh, shoot. Lauren, how do I say it again? Lauren, how do I say Aero and Laces? Aero and Los Enrique Iglesias Airlines. I need your help, Lauren. I need your country. What do they call that when you like spell it out? Thank you. Aero and Laces. Aero and Laces. Cozumel traffic. Aero and Laces 357. We're at 8,000, setting up for the RNAV, runway 12, about 15 miles from OnGov. Cozumel traffic. Phonetics, thank you. I need the country boy phonetics. The podcast. Where can I find the podcast? It's members only. That's V1 After Dark. And I think I did one or two that wasn't in the playlist, which I should set up for the playlist. But we will be doing another. Maybe we'll do one. God. I'm going to say this, and you guys are going to crucify me because I'm not going to end up doing it. But I will try to do that story either tonight or tomorrow before this next trip. So if you're a member, I typically will post it in the member section of the Discord. You won't see notifications on YouTube for it, and it'll just be either a 10-minute notification. There won't be any visuals with it. It's literally just a podcast, but I go live on YouTube and we talk about a couple things. I will try to do that before I go on this next trip, either tonight, like I said, or tomorrow before my trip, and I will tell that specific story right there. And we'll have to try it on the Starlink. So I don't know how the Starlink in Georgia works. The Starlink in Texas, we were able to do it, so I don't see why it wouldn't work. Starlink in Georgia. But I'll try to get that tonight. Aaron says, tonight, gotcha. Yeah, now I just set myself up for failure. It may be super late, though. We'll see, because we're going to do some fireworks. I'm going to do some fireworks with the girls. I got some mortar tubes that need to be... All right, I just lost my chat. I just lost everything on my other monitor. This is interesting. Okay, it's all back. Cool. Jeremy, I know. I'm not trying to put it off. My house from like 5 to 9 o'clock is mayhem. Got 3 kids all trying to go to bed at the same time. Trying to eat dinner. It's just mayhem. It's witching hour, you know? But at the V1 household, it's witching hours. Witching hours. Yeah, Sean, the cockpit looks almost real.
Cozumel traffic, Mexico 495, reducing to final approach speed, 7 miles for RNAV 1.
I should probably slow down. I'm going to come straight to 180. Speed brake on. And we need to be... what are we doing here? We didn't even... 2,000. 180. Let's slow down. Thrust idle, open, descent. Arm the approach push button here, which we can't arm just yet because we got to get on the final. There we go. We're slowing down. We got lateral deviation. There's VF Fenix minus 10 barely. Flaps 1. We need to slow down for this guy. I'm going to come straight to 160. I know we do 160 normally, or 180, but I'm going right to 160 just because the traffic. He's inside of 5 miles, and I'm cooking through here. We need to get down, too. Runway's in sight. Oh, man. Let's go gear down. I have the speed brake. I tell you what, did we already activate and confirm? Activated and confirmed the approach phase, and I'm going to manage speed, VF Fenix minus 2, flaps 2. We're going to be real tight on this guy. Autopilot's off. Flight director's off. Give me the bird. Bird's in chat. Recording is on. This happened real quick. Flaps 3. I'm not concerned about that guy. I'm concerned about this guy right here. Flaps full. Stow the speed brakes. Arm them. How far out are we? We're 8 miles. Cozumel traffic, aero license 357. We're on an 8-mile final, runway 12, Cozumel. We're at final. Alright, I'm going to keep coming down now.
Traffic, Mexico 495, 3 miles, landing.
So he's 3 miles, we're 7. I'm going to give myself an S-turn. I'm going to give this guy a little bit of space. So we're going to S-turn out to the left.
2,500.
And we're going to S-turn back to the right. This is just to give him a little bit of spacing. And it's Mexico, so S-turns are approved. So we'll come to 150 on this turn, and then once we hit about 150, we're going to come back and we're going to get back on course.
Traffic fever 718, 13-mile final for runway 12.
Do we have to backtrack here? I don't know. That's a great question. I hope not. Cozumel traffic, aero losses 357. We're now on a 5-mile final, runway 12 there. Okay, Cozumel. All right, we're back on course. I can see the Pappies coming in now. 2 whites, 2 reds. A little bit high, correcting. So he's vacating. All right, plenty of time, plenty of space. Oops.
1,000.
1,000 feet, stable. Clear to land. Going out to 2,000 feet a set. A little bit of a crossing from the left here. Got to get that crosswind in there. I lost my LNAV brick. I wonder what happened there. If I rearm the approach. No, lost my LNAV brick. Maybe we already flew past it. All right, runway is clear. That guy go around?
100 above.
Runway is clear. 1,000 feet stable. Nice crosswind here.
Minimum 500.
I'm leaving the auto thrust on because I kind of want to just see how this auto thrust behaves compared to when we were in the Fenix.
300.
Ooh, it came into almost a 90-degree crosswind now. More correction.
200.
Little bit low. That's all right. Landing's assured.
100.
Try to hit that 50 right over the numbers. Plenty of speed.
50, 40, 30.
Straighten her out.
20. Retard. 10.
Oh, come on.
5.
Oh, no, we ran out of juice. Oh, that's so bad. Let's go around. Go around flaps. I can't land on that. That was so bad. Positive rate. Gear up. We can't end on that. That was pure not good. That was so ugly. Cozumel traffic, air license 357 going around. 1,000 feet to level off. Speed alt star. Flaps 1.
Cozumel traffic, Mexico 495, crossing runway 12.
Bug up, bug up, bug up. We don't. That's the Boeing thing. I don't know why it went. Should have went up to 250 on its own there. I'll tell you what. We'll do 180. Selected 2,000. Autopilot 1. I'm going to select heading, and we're going to make right crosswind. My wife joined the chat. That's why it was so bad. So, I blame you, Lo. Also, I know you can't see it, but my seat was not secured via the by my flip-flops. We were not secured via flip-flops. So let's go ahead and start another approach. We'll come around. That was just absolutely terrible. That was embarrassing. I should do a single engine approach just to make up for how bad that was. Let's keep spinning all the way around 210. Now let's see what the box does. If I reactivate the approach phase, what does it give us in the box? Let's take it from the final. No star. Insert. So theoretically, we should have... Yeah, that works. Maintain 2,000. What do I say? A stable approach leads to a good landing. We were not stable. Brett K, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says 11 minutes of fuel. Yeah, rip. We don't need it all. At least we get a good view of Cozumel now. I'm going to stop that recording, or I'll just let it run the whole way. Should I let it run the whole way? That'll be a long replay. I'm going to stop that. We'll save it. We'll save it for Mike, Charlie, Zulu, go around. That was off center line, off everything, long, floaty. It was just ugly. I don't ever want to be reminded of that landing ever again. Aaron says shared cockpit with Laura Wynn. That would be very interesting. MEL issue, flip-flops in op, exactly.
Cozumel traffic, Speedbird 7, joining the go around on runway 12.
A Speedbird is joining the go around. Maybe they didn't have a, they didn't have their, what do they call that? Not landing visas, but you gotta have like special ship paperwork when you come in from abroad. I had that's another story. In El Salvador, they wouldn't let us take off because we had to have maintenance, and then the airport authority wouldn't sign off of it, and they said you don't have the proper paperwork for this tail number, and I'm just like, oh my god, here we go, round and round circles. Do you have to report go around, or are you allowed one or two? You can go around as many times as you've got the fuel for. Speedbird says his approach was awful too. I think we all got caught by how bad, or we just got caught on chit chat there. We never actually prepped for the approach. Aircraft that's on the go around on the downwind, are you taking it all the way out to CZ519? Should just make short approach here at Cajo. He's turning in now. Okay, we'll follow in line with him.
Sorry, missed that. Can you say that again?
Oh, I see him turning now. There's an aircraft on downwind turning base now. Team Vodka, thank you for the $20 super chat. May this gift forever remind you of that landing. Oh boy, Team Vodka, appreciate it. Thank you for the support, man. Glad to see you back. Hope you're doing good, man. Got to fire up that sim this evening. Yes, now I'm going to be forever reminded of that landing. I should buy a plaque. I'll order a plaque on Amazon. I'll customize it. World's worst Cozumel landing. And I'm going to hang it in the V2 room, and I'm going to buy it with that $20 that you just gave me, Vodka. Appreciate you, man. I'm going to do that too. Or maybe I should make an emoji with the Mexican flag that just reminds us of our little mini Mexico tour in Cozumel. All right, he is going there. So as soon as he's off our right side, we will set up for another approach. So we are activated and confirmed. 128 on the VAP. We have a nice crosswind. So because of the crosswind, we're going to go auto brakes low. That's going to help minimize our uneven brake temperature heating there on the rollout. So we're going to go brakes low, still full reverse. We're activated and confirmed. 2,000 will be set for the second go around. Everything is looking good here. We are fine and dandy now. Where is that traffic? Ryan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Go rounds, earn dollar bills, y'all. Ryan, appreciate the $5 super chat, man. Very kind of you. Team Vodka says that was about as good as when you dove into the bridge in Tampa. Oh man, when's the 320 gonna have RGB cockpit lighting like the purple throttles glow? Oh yeah, that'd be pretty neat. Yeah, we drove into that bridge, or dove in. Yeah, that was a whole nother can of worms. The humans are all awake, so you're back on duty. Oh, maybe it's good that we did a go around. All the humans are awake at the house now.
Clearly performance issues. I had nothing to do with this, or your wife joining in on short final. Great job on the donation vodka. Here's another 5 for that black.
AJ, thanks for the $5 bank angle check, man. Now I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, AJ. Yeah, it was definitely performance issues on that one. All right, here we go. We're turning inbound. Cozumel traffic error losses 357, turning base runway 12. I tell you what, we're gonna go direct to Calho, insert, and approach activate. Oh, won't let me activate it yet. Calho is at 1500. Yeah. We did not prep for this. Calho is at 1600. We're at 2000, but we're visual, so I'm going to set 1600 just to make my life a little bit easier. 1600 is set. Flaps to 180. Aero and Laces. Lauren, I need it. What is it again? Aero and Laces. Aero and Laces, right? Aero and Laces? Aero and Laces. Blame the Mexico City water. It tasted funky and threw me off my game. Yes. Do you all miss Texas yet? McShady pilot every day, man. There's not a day that goes by I don't wake up and say I miss Texas. Should have seen my landing at Anchorage last night. Ended up way too fast. Sidestepped 7 left to 7 left. Totally floated. Plopped it off center line and pulled right to the ramp. Hey. If you can use the airplane again, you'd be all right. I tell you what, that was one heck of a side load on that touchdown. So I ran out of juice. I ran out of rudder authority because we were floating for so long. So I couldn't get the nose back over. And then if I would have put in more rudder, we probably would have either had a pod strike or got really wonky. But if you would have felt that, even though maybe it wasn't super firm, did the landing rate even pop up? Even if it wasn't a super hard as far as feet per minute are concerned, the fact that it was side-loaded would make it feel very hard. So, yeah, that one was ugly as hell. That was so bad. It was it would not have felt like a 248. It would have felt probably like a 500 because of the side-loading. All right, we're 1600, speed out, star, nav, 180. That guy's doing his thing. Cozumel traffic, Enrique Iglesias, 357. We're 3 miles from Calho, runway 12, Cozumel. Yeah, we had a 20-knot crosswind. We weren't really prepped for that one. I was sitting here telling stories. We were not prepared for a 20-knot crosswind. Probably should be landing on runway 5, honestly.
Cozumel traffic, speedbird 7, heading base
Speedbird.
for runway 12.
I'll tell you what, we're going to use manual thrust this time too. Now my question is, why can I not arm you? LDEV. Oh, because that's right. It's not modeled, right? That's right. I was thinking I could arm it, but it'll fly it in nav mode. Enrique Iglesias will get a lot of hiccups because of the stream. Yeah, the algorithm's going to start going off. We're only at flaps 1? Flaps 2. All right, flaps 2. Runway's in sight. And I see you inside the final. I got you. No final approach. I remember now. Beautiful turn to final there. Recording number 2 is on. Autopilot's coming off. Flight directors are coming off. Give me the bird. Birds are up. Auto thrust is coming off, so match and mash. Match the donut to the thingies and then go ahead and hit the disconnect. Should have had a warning there. So auto thrust is off. And we can go ahead and manage you, gear down.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Flaps 3. Here comes that crosswind. So what's interesting is that wind, it gets more of a crosswind the lower we get. Because up there at 2,000 feet, it's almost a headwind. Flaps full, landing checklist. Cabin crew advised auto thrust speed off. Auto thrust is off. Now we're doing our S turns again.
7 on a 10-mile
Alright, I'm just going to fly this. We're going to be high again. Look at this.
1,000.
Are you kidding me? We are so high right now. How did I screw this up again? We're doing 1,000 feet. In real life, we'd be going around again right now. We might have to go around again.
100 above.
You cannot be serious.
500.
500 feet. Man, Toga, SRS, go around track.
Sink.
Go around
Don't
flaps.
sink. Don't
Flaps
sink.
3. Positive rate, gear up.
Don't sink.
Oh my God. I swear. I'm not doing it on purpose, y'all. I'm pissed now. Speed out star, go around track. Flaps 1, speed checks. We're making a short approach and we're gonna just nail this thing. And why are we... Uh-oh, now we're gonna get into like VLS. Come on, auto thrust. There you go, give me 180. Autopilot 1, 2000 set. Speed, open climb, go around track. We're gonna go heading mode. We're starting a right turn. Cozumel traffic, aero LS 357 going around. We're coming around. We're gonna make short approach, runway 12. 180 knots, 2000. If you don't look going down, you can always go around. If it don't look good going down, you can always go around. McShiggity Pilot, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that $5 super chat. Yes, indeed. Let this stream be a lesson. Oh no, here now it's really gonna start going off.
Did you just have recurrent training? Lol.
Oh God. Callie Silver, appreciate it. Yes, I did. I don't want to talk about it. All right. I'm done. I'm not even gonna read chat. As soon as I turn final, I'm not even gonna look at the chat. Are you in need of virtual block time? Yeah, we got enough fuel. We have 5,800 pounds. We don't have enough fuel to go. Well, yeah, we have plenty of fuel. Even to go to our alternate. We had 3 hours of fuel on there. All right. I'm done with you guys. I'm not looking at chat. We're activated and confirmed. We're going to do this. We're going to go here. I'm going to do RNAV 12, no star. Approach via, insert. Now it's not even letting me do that. That's fine. We're just going to do a visual approach. Arrival, RNAV 12. Approach via, no star, insert. All right, yeah, we made it not happy now, but that's okay. Matt Warren, thanks for gifting a sub. Dominic Trifletti, you picked up a gifted sub to the Mayhem. That is the V1 channel now. Appreciate you. Someone needs a win right now, so here's the membership. Oh my God, that's savage. Romulus, we can't auto land because there's no ILS to this airport. All right. If Speedbird goes around again, I think you need a restraining order. Third time's the charm. I need my mini FCU. That's why we're struggling here, because I keep having to mouse wheel scroll. I'm flying my airplane with the mouse. All right, we're on downwind, 180 knots, flaps 2. I'm not even going to save that recording. That was a high altitude go around. What's interesting is I don't even have a runway, extended runway center line now. Maybe if I do it now, arrival, RMP 12, approach via. What if I just take it from OnGov, insert? There we go. Just so I have something to look at. All right. We're doing this for real. Goodbye, chat. I'm not looking at you anymore. Let me make sure everything else is done. 128 is still set. All right. Autopilot's off. Flight director's off. Flight bird is on. I'm not looking at the chat anymore. Auto thrust is going to be coming off here, so I'm going to manage the speed. Replay is on again. Starting a new recording. All right. Everybody leave me alone. Auto thrust is off. We're going to land an airplane today. Flaps 3, gear down. We're already out of sync. It's fine. We're going to crush this one.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
For the third time. There's a reason for sterile cockpit. Oh, great. Now Speedbird is backtracking. At least he made it down. He's doing a hell of a lot better than I am right now. Alright, 1 notch of flaps to go. Wish I had track IR. We'll cut it in early here. Let's go flaps full. Alright, everything is armed, lights are on. Going altitude is set 2,000. Man, that runway is way out there.
Runway 12, good luck, Enrique.
Justin got me with the obligatory distraction check. Jeez. Thank you, Justin, for the $5 super chat. Distraction successful. Wow, there's the runway way out there. That can't be right, is it? No, runway's got to be over here. Chaos, I'm never flying the fly-by-wire RNAV again. That's the run. Is that the runway? I need a cheat. That is the runway. What in the heck is going on here? Nothing like flying around 1,000 feet, completely configured, flaps full. I will never live this down. That's the problem about YouTube and internet live streaming careers is you screw up like this, it's permanent. More distractions. We believe in you. Thank you, Brett. And JP is also gifting 5. I'm going to close the chat box. I'm going to close the chat box. Thank you, JP, for the 5 gifted subs, man. Appreciate you. Brad K. Appreciates it, man. I don't believe in myself yet, so I'm glad somebody believes in me. Now we're going to get all the alerts off. All right, here we go. Let's pay attention now. 2 whites, 2 reds, 100 above, stable, clear to land. A nice crosswind here from the left, so I'm actually going to lead into this one a little bit. There we go.
400.
Yeah. Now 3 reds brought us right in at 50, so Pappy is a little bit misaligned. Oh, not 4 reds, so correcting. There we go. 3 reds brought us in pretty much perfectly the first time. Screw it. We're going 4 reds. I'm not going around again.
$50, $40, $30, $20, $10, $5.
Take that, Cozumel. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. We got to backtrack here, too. Don't look at the messages. 70 knots. Finally. Man. 3rd time's the charm. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the support. Thanks for the gifted subs, too, again, JP. All right, let's backtrack this puppy. What was it, a 145? All right, I'll take that. Still wonky.
Enrique Iglesias emoji.
Oh, wow. Havoc, appreciate you. That's a great idea, man. Enrique Iglesias Travel Fund. Or Emoji Fund. Thank you, Havoc. Appreciate that. We're going to get it. We have to have a memorabilia on this one now. That was absolutely awful. There was a good runway incursion when we wanted... Where was a good runway incursion when we wanted one? Dottie Sim with the $5 super sticker. Calling me a noob. Indeed. I deserve it. I deserve every bit of it. I will take it. 250... Hell, I think a 250-hour pilot would have done better than that. We need more barf bags back here. Let's go to the gate. I have to pee, and I'm done. I'm done with this. Microsoft's the worst sim ever. It's the flight dynamics. The flight dynamics are bad. The sim is bad. I'm going back to X-Plane 10. Okay, this is... I don't know why people fly this sim. It's the worst time ever to be a simulator enthusiast. Nothing is realistic. Trust me. Alright, here we go. Let's turn off here. Flight Dispatch has dispatched 5 more memberships to the channel. Dispatch, I appreciate the man. Thank you so much for another 5 gifted subs. Appreciate the support. Truly. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very, very kind of you, man. Thank you for that. Let's go flaps up. Disarm you. We're leaving the lights on so we don't have to listen to it ticking on the replay. Look, everybody's here. Everybody made it but me. Someone take it out of context and make it viral. What I just said? Oh, yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. Is there even a gate left here for me? I don't deserve to park at a gate. We deserve to park at a hard stand. Oh, this is a cool little terminal here. Look at this. Oh, we even have a marshaller. Okay, let's end this on a good note. Here we go. We're going to blind him probably. Let's end this on a good note. Dottie, I'm not even going to read that comment. My God, that's hilarious. You guys are ridiculous. All right. Let's get her centered here. Should I follow the marshaller? Because I feel like the marshaller is going to lead me astray. Is that blue? Look, he's got his sunglasses on because we have all the lights on. He legit has sunglasses on. That was terrible, dude. That was terrible. We're going to go up to the proper ERP line. I'll show you where we need to go. Yeah, I know. Brakes are set. Oh boy. Let's go ahead and shut it down. Why not, huh? No, let's. We got a lot of replays to watch. We're going to watch the replays. Thank you all for flying with me. We're going to go ahead and go into replay mode. We're going to disconnect from VATSIM. And I'm going to save this one as the landing. Mike Charlie Alpha. Or Mike Charlie Zulu. Landing. Now we're going to load the go-around. Worst sim ever. Thanks for the membership. Andre Nets. Appreciate the super chat, man. The membership chat. Let's load that go-around and see how we did. So our flaps are coming out. It's going to say direct law. I know all that. Awesome stream as always. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Harris. Appreciate you. Hopefully I didn't miss anything here. Swarm, thanks for the continued support. Really enjoyed it. Robert S. V1 is now closing the channel due to Cozumel. Yeah, I was thinking about even doing a stream tomorrow, but that ain't happening. I'll tell you right now. I'm taking a break from this ultra unrealistic sim. I'm gonna go fly real airplanes for a week. I'm done with Microsoft. I'm done. So if I look at the replay here, let's move it forward.
2,500.
We're doing our S turns, like just craziness. Let's see how we did. This is the go around. The Cozumel incident.
400. 300.
Steven, appreciate it, man. Turns out flying in the dark over the water is hard.
200.
Next stream will be FSX. Oh my gosh, how funny would that be? I fire up the next stream and we're in FSX.
100.
Landmark or world travel and the default 321.
50. 40.
So we were over the numbers fine.
20. Retard.
Went to flare
10.
and nothing. We just were float factoring and then we touched down. Oh my gosh. We're not going to look at this. We can't look at this. I cannot show you guys how bad this is. This is insanely unacceptable.
100.
I should lose my job over this. I'd probably get written up if I landed like this in real life. Orbit Airlines. Oh yeah, Orbit was good.
100.
We touched down between the center line. We touched down basically between the center line and the edge lights. No, no, no. No more right rudder. And oh my. That side load. That side load was not good. God, those lights are bright. It's like a Boeing pilot trying to land an Airbus. At least you get 2 Togas out of it. You get 2 Togas in one stream. Alright, let's load the actual landing. Alright, here's our actual landing. We're going to speed it forward. Rip to the struts. Yeah, rip to the struts. Rip to the wheels. Rip to my pride. I didn't even land that bad after like a 3-month leave during COVID.
500.
Alright. How we do on this one? We're coming in. It was a nice little crosswind. No guidance. We're visual. No exceptions. We'll see how we did on the touchdown, then I'm getting out of here. Oh, we don't have gear down. Gear. Come down. Would you file a report for that touch and go? No, but I'd probably get a call from the Focal gatekeeper. Guaranteed. Guaranteed I'd get a phone call. Guaranteed. So you remember your flight into Cozumel, landing on runway 12 on 29 June 2023? Yes, I do. What the hell were you thinking? Look at that. There we go. Still a little bit side-loaded. A little bit of wonky rudderness, but we got her down on center line for the most part. Much better there than the first one. But that is going to be a wrap. So, guys, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you for all the support, all the membership gifting, all the super chats, all the donos. Appreciate each and every one of you. Team Vodka says need to rename the video worst landing ever at Cozumel at night. I know. All right, y'all. Jeremy, I'm going to be in touch with you. And I hope everyone else has a wonderful rest of your day. I'm off for a couple of days. It's going to be a while before I come back to the sim. So until then, I want y'all to stay safe, stay healthy, land a hell of a lot better than I did. And until the next time I see ya, keep the silver side up. Don't sideload the Airbus. I'm V1. See ya!